Hello, everyone. It is 9:04 p.m. Central Standard Time, April 20th in the year of our Lord, 2022. The greatest of days for Barry, apparently.
Nah, I'm not into the culture lines. I use this for medication.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not.
Okay.
Although I do appreciate the discounts, but
do you does your any type of insurance pay for that?
it's all cash, Scott. It's federally, it's not legal, so everything's cash.
What's the? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what's your weekly spend?
My weekly
$7,000.
Nah, I could get. I think it's 6 ounces a month. They break it up into a cycle. I think it's 15 days. I believe it was 3 ounces every 15 days or something like that. The average eighth is going for about $50. The pre-rolls are going about 13 a gram, 15, depending on where you go. The edibles, they range anywhere from you get like 5 cookies for 20, depending on what it is. That's all pretty new to Delaware, though, the edible stuff. That's within the last year, actually.
Right. So, what's the...
For me,
what's the average?
I go about... I probably go about an ounce a month. It depends on the month, the weather, but usually between an ounce and an half a month.
And that, what'd you say was
$50 an eighth?
$50?
So yeah, so I'm probably about I'm
spending an eighth of an ounce. So $400.
Yeah, roughly. It depends on the month. Yeah.
Sure. Just curious. No judgments. No judgments.
Oh, I don't care if you do or not. It's what I use to get by. Yeah. I'd rather do this than the opioids for sure.
And you don't take any other drugs, right?
No. After
don't have to say
cocaine.
No, I don't.
Well, I mean, I meant prescriptions.
Right now, I don't. I did a clean slate because, like I said, the last time I seen my doctor, we were going through the stuff with the blood pressure and the sugar and all this. So I got off everything. I'm waiting I'm going to go back and do some blood work and then start over. But I was on blood pressure medicine and pre-diabetic stuff. Well, I guess it wasn't pre. It was metoprolol, something like that.
That was what I took.
And cholesterol.
Okay.
And the cholesterol was lower just because of the diet change. And then, like I said, the blood pressure was dropping too low with the weed. So they took me off of that. And the sugar, we're going to check again because of my blood pressure, but my diet rather. But this Easter didn't help with all the sweets. I got 2 cakes in there, pie. But yeah, the weed's not a cure-all like a lot of people say it is. But I did notice it helps with the blood pressure. The appetite, I actually use it a lot for nausea. Yeah. Due to the pain. The pain, some strains do help the pain, some don't. It just depends. And that's one of the things I don't like about it is I can't get consistency here with the strains. It just depends on what they grow.
That's the pain in your back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's mainly what I use it for is the pain and the anti-inflammatory into my back. I got arthritis all over the place and, them operating on me 3 times didn't help. Yeah.
Well, on that light note, today's Alaboom is brought to you by Diet Dr. Shasta.
And Green Crack. That's the strain of
Coca-Cola flavored Tic Tacs.
What the heck? What are those?
They're Coca-Cola flavored Tic Tacs.
They taste like Coke?
Yeah. And Last Light, live on GameFound. And
so here's the thing.
And of course, birds aren't real.
I have a question.
Just so I can kick it off.
I don't know how much you guys. I don't know. You guys back like a couple projects a month, Lance, or are you down to 0?
I mean, in my heyday, I'm probably just because of past actions like I still am, right? By the sheer number of,
Yeah.
of garbage. But now I'm very selective. I'm actually kind of a I backed one just because it had a like first 48 hours. If you pledge the first week, you got a special gift kind of thing. And I'm already talking myself out of it. Like just like, but I got my name in, for
Right.
that
For that
old gods of the
special gift.
Appalachia, Oh, I know. I mean, I know all the tricks and
So here's a question about, and I have not clicked on a single one of these, so I have no idea what they're asking. Every single Kickstarter I back now sends me an email. It automatic. Fill out our survey. Fill out our survey. Yeah, well, whatever.
Oh, really?
Someone's doing it. What is
You
the deal
go
with
in-
that survey?
You go in and I mean, we have done them in the past. We haven't done one in a while. Usually what it is like you're just trying to get information. And plus also usually in the survey there's a thing, can we sign you up for our newsletter? So you can add more emails to your
Oh yeah, my email is not gonna support that. So I don't even click on these things. I mean, I could click on it because I backed.
Usually it's like, what kind of add-ons would you like? Is there anything you'd really love to see in this thing? It's a way to get feedback,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay,
a way for the people to buy in.
Yeah, let me look at one real quick. I backed something earlier. The Mythic game. The new Mythic game, Anasteer.
Okay.
If that's how you pronounce it. Let's see what it's asking me. Okay. What email did you use to pledge? Okay, I'm not going to tell you. How did you find out about us? No Board Game Geek. Okay, whatever. It was on Board Game Geek. I clicked through the link.
Was there another?
What's that? Yeah, there's another. I can say Board Game Geek. One question. And the email, like what? Oh, forget it. I'm not gonna fill it out.
It's just so they can track you.
Yeah,
but they know what email I've backed with.
In case you change it, I guess.
Don't they?
Yeah.
What? Okay, whatever.
I don't know, Scott.
It's like I'm not signing up for anything with that email, so please don't sign me up for something. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just grumpy.
You're grumpy. Why are you grumpy?
Grumpy.
No reason.
I hear what you're saying, Scott. I was going to get a fishing license in Delaware.
No, I mean, I'm trying to support the industry, like the industry that I work in. What does it become?
Just advertising, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Analytics.
By the way, I'm freezing cold.
Are you?
Yes. I
How
think that's a
cold?
blood pressure medicine thing.
It could be, Scott.
It's funny. I've never been cold in my life. Like sitting in the house, just sitting around doing nothing.
Getting old, Grandpa.
I could be cold maybe once a year, when it's 40 degrees outside, but it's 90 degrees outside right now.
90? Wow.
Actually, it went up to 90 today. It's 74 right now, but we have our air conditioning on. It's a brisk 72.
A brisk.
Yeah, that could. I'm trying to remember. They had me on 2 or 3. One was just counteracting the other. It was nuts for, like I said, about a year. But I remember getting cold, hungry. I remember that. Thirsty. I remember being really thirsty at times too.
Yeah.
Headaches.
Wake up with a dry mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway, I played some games.
What'd you play?
With Lincoln and Nikki, they came back from the Gathering of Friends.
Oh, cool.
They came back so what happened was they came out early, like the weekend before, and we were going to play games up until the point where I went to the hospital, and then I stopped, the game thing kind of fell apart.
Oh, yeah.
You were in the hospital?
Nah.
Anyway, so they went to the Gathering, and that was a good time, I think. And came back this past weekend, and we played First Empires, I think is the name of it. You heard of that one? It's it's kind of a war game,
Oh,
which is surprising. Kind of. Let me check
It either is or it isn't, Scott.
Well, you know, when you attack someone's city and you kick their troops out, is that a war game? Is that a warlike? I mean, it's a
Yeah,
war.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
it's a
Like a retreat option, sort of.
yeah. You always retreat. Like it's not. There's nothing random about it. Like you know how many troops are in that location, and I know how many. You know, like I have to put in. If you have 2 troops protecting a region, I send in 3 and I win. No dice rolling, which is cool. So it's, you know, deterministic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me check something. Make sure I'm talking the right game.
You know what doesn't have deterministic combat?
Last Light.
Last Light, live on GamePound right now. Go back.
How long is this campaign? Another week?
First Empires. Yeah, First Empires.
First
You got
Empires.
16 days left.
2022 release. It's from the guys that did the Tom Lehman game, which I'm drawing a blank on. Sandcastle games.
You don't know. What you're
They
talking
I know
did
what you're talking about, yeah.
Res Arcana.
about. Oh, okay.
So it's a good. I mean, it's a pedigree. Like those guys are doing good stuff. It's fun. It's everybody's asymmetric. Like you have different powers. I mean, you all have the same powers, but you have different balances of power. Right.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the game, I might roll two dice, and you might roll 3. And you roll dice, and you get symbols, and those symbols trigger off areas that you control, and they bump you up on tracks. So you have 7 tracks, 6 tracks. Sorry, 5 tracks. Sorry, 5.
Make up your mind.
So if you let's say I roll a blue, a yellow, and an orange, I have to have troops in blue, yellow, and orange to trigger those dice to make me bump up tracks, right?
Okay.
And every time I bump up a track, I get points. I get victory points, and I also improve my ability there, which is cool. I like technology, right? It's like a tech tree. So if I bump up the, I forget what color it is, but let's say orange, I could roll more dice next turn, right? If I bump up my units number, I can put more units out on the board. Now you never lose units. They always just run away, and you can't lose your last space. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, you never get more than like 8 or 9 units on the board. I think it's 8. So it's real. It's like Small World light, like super light. Like you have no power besides the built-in powers. So kind of cool. It's always like, I always have this problem though attacking someone and taking their stuff, because even though it's sort of like if I attack you, I leave behind some stuff for you to attack on me. Like to me, that's not like it's tactical, right?
Right.
Like I can make a tactical, like because Lincoln was before me. Every time he bumped his track up, he put there's all the tracks have cities on them. Mm-hmm. So if you get to a highest level, you take a city and you put it on the board.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So, and you try to protect it, right? But since I'm going right after him, whatever city he put on the board, I would have just attack it, right, and take it. Yeah. Just like, which kind of pissed him off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right, because I'm always attacking. I'm always attacking the person who went before me, because typically what you do is you'll get your city out and you put it on your most protected space, but your most protected space is only going to have like 2 or 3 units on it. And for me, I could move all my units on every turn, like,
right.
And then so it's like a little, like, it's just a tactical take advantage of what you can at the time you can. I still lost, by the way. I think Lincoln won, even though he was mad about me attacking him. I mean, he wasn't mad, but he was like, oh,
yeah, I get you.
Here comes Scott.
Annoyed.
Scott's gonna take my thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Is
So
that
it's a
Lincoln?
cool game. Yeah, I'm talking about First Empires, Christian.
Is that
Christian, how
Lincoln's
come you don't
cup
do
of
any
tea?
you don't do any trivia for us?
Yeah, that's Christian.
He should do the trivia. He did this really cool trivia show. Did you guys see that?
He doesn't like us enough.
He doesn't.
I know.
like this.
He like put some production in the damn thing. Yeah, it's a seating order or war game.
What are you trying to say, Scott?
Yeah, Scott.
I don't know. Anyway, so that was First Empires. I have one more game to talk about,
Go
which I
ahead.
think I'm really excited about. Actually,
Ooh, let's hear it.
it's called Living Forest. Have you heard of it?
Well, is he, why? Did Forrest pass away?
I think I did.
You have heard
Refresh
of
my
it?
memory. Refresh my memory. I think I have.
So it is a game where you are all racing to 12 of a thing. Either 12 trees,
Oh, this isn't the game I'm thinking.
12 fires, 12 flowers, or is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, there's only 3 types of ways to win. So someone gets a 12 fire, someone gets a 12 trees, someone gets a 12 what did I miss? Trees, flowers, trees, fire. Oh, it's so hard to forget to remember. But what you do is you have a deck of cards, and everybody starts with the same deck, and you get animals. They're like really cool, artistic, animal things. And then you start flipping cards, and if you flip 3 of a kind of the they call the animals God, what do they call it? Loner, like not loners, but like they want to act on their own. They want to be by themselves. So if you flip 3 of those, you basically stop, and you only get 1 action. So you're flipping cards, and if you hit 2 or less, 3 or less, if you hit less than 3, not 3, you can take 2 actions from what you flipped. So you're flipping all these symbols. You're either flipping water, or you're flipping fire, or you're flipping earth or wind, right? It's an elemental game. So then you take your actions. And so let's say the thing that kind of sucks is you have to add up all the numbers, which is a little bit drag. Like you're flipping, you can flip like 15 cards or something like it. It's crazy. Right. So when you get to when you stop, you basically say, well, I could do this action, or I could do this action, or I could do this action based on the power that you flipped. And your trees give you power too. So every time you build a tree or grow a tree, you will get a bonus to your tableau. So if I build a tree that gives me permanent fire, I can add 1 fire to that total. It doesn't really make sense. But basically, you're flipping over a bunch of cards. It's a push your luck game at that point. You're trying to get as close as possible to the 2. I can't remember the term they used, but they have little coins on them, and they're black coins. So you want to basically stop before you hit 3, because if you hit 3, you only get 1 action. If you hit less than 3, you get 2 actions.
Gotcha.
And you're trying to get to 12 things. So if every turn, like, okay, so let's say my action is, okay, I want to build a tree. Well, based on the total you roll, you flipped, you can build 1 tree of that value or less, right? So let's say I flip 9 points of trees. I can take 1 of the trees that's 9 or less. And you need 12 unique trees to win. Or I can use the water to douse the fire. The fire is constantly like brewing, and it's like attacking you. So it's like the forest is on fire. So, and if you get 12 pieces of fire, 12 fire tokens, you win. Or you can get 12 flowers based on symbols on the cards. So you can buy cards that give you flowers. If you flip over 12 of them, you win. That's it. And it's pretty cool. Like, I hadn't seen that before. Like, it's a push your luck game, but I hadn't really seen that combination of elements before. And it's the art is awesome. All the animals are really cool looking. They're kind of spiritized, spirit animal type stuff.
Okay.
Like they're glowing,
Which game is this?
Living Forest.
Oh.
I think it's just coming out.
Did you take a picture with Lincoln?
I took a picture of it.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
Okay.
posted it on.
All right, that's where I heard of it.
Yeah. Now the setup, holy shit, took like a half an hour.
Did it?
Because we punched it, and it's like, do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then do that. I'm like, oh my god, because it has racks of trees, so you have to put all the trees in the racks, right? And you have to sort the animals by certain types, and like, wow, the setup is like a massive.
So it'll never get played.
No, I think we're gonna play it. I sent it home with them, so I think they're gonna do an episode.
I meant in general, not necessarily for the game. Like,
I think what it was the first time set up, right? And it's confusing. It's like take all the trees and put them in the racks.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the right ones. And it's like, okay. And then take all the animals and sort them by their types. Okay. And then take all the fire and put it in stacks next to, it's a lot of little things, but when you want to play a game, like we were just trying to, like they were on their way out, like they were going to the airport. I was like, let's get one more game in. Let's try to play something before you guys leave. I was like, Living Forest. I've been reading about it and like I want to play it. So
Anyway,
it's like a solid family game.
okay.
It's nothing more than that, but really fun.
Yeah, I played
well,
a
it
few.
sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Well, I like push your luck. So you've got your deck, right? And you're just trying to push your luck to it, and you can all do it simultaneously. So you're not like waiting for someone to do it. Then you take your turns in order. There's another aspect to the game I didn't mention, but you basically go around this track that you're trying to jump over people, and you can steal some of their victory points.
Okay.
Like everybody starts with one victory point of each type: one fire, one tree, and one water.
Flower.
Fire, flower, tree. You can steal it from them. So there's a tactic to going jumping around all over, hopping over people and getting extra actions and stuff like that.
Hey, Lance, who was late to your D&D group?
Who isn't?
I saw your post today.
It's just, I mean, like I said in my thing, it's like, it's one thing if I posted a video today of my 5 tips on how to be a better RPG player. And it's like, one of them was showing up on time. It's.
Listen to you talk about being on time for things.
Oh, shut up. Have you ever had anything nice to say to me ever?
Yeah.
Okay. Was I there?
Yeah.
You're a swell man.
You're a swell man. I find you pleasant to play with, Lance, unlike some people in this room who find you unpleasant to play with.
No, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we're meeting Saturday at 6, and it's just like, almost 7 when somebody starts rolling in.
Yeah. If you're an hour late,
that's something.
And it's one of those
we
things
have
where
one
it's
guy
like,
that kind of shows up half hour late every time. So it's a half hour late, which means it's a half hour of just like you have to talk, when the person arrives, you're like, okay, we got to talk about stuff. And they're like, oh, we got to order lunch. And I'm like, okay, we're starting to play games at 2 for a 12 o'clock start, like that kind of.
No, it's one of those things where it shows zero, and it's one thing is that it's like, oh, I'm running late. You can text. Well, I mean, the people, and to be fair, it's easier for me to be on time because I host, right?
If you're hosting, you just walk downstairs.
But I'm also,
that's what I do.
Like, I also I now take it upon myself to cook food. Like, and I'm not talking anything extravagant, like
chili or something.
Yeah, you have a crock pot for chili or
sometimes it's easier.
Queso.
Taco meat. Last time I had
taco bar.
No, I had
the brats. Yeah.
I threw a bunch of brats in the smoker. I seared
Do you grill them?
I seared them.
Oh, you seared them. Okay.
I seared them on a with butter in a pan, and then I just threw them in the crock pot to get them for a few hours to get them fully cooked.
I usually do it the reverse. Okay.
And then it's just like, and I fried up some onions and sauerkraut and put that in a bowl and chilled it. So add a little garlic, and then people were able to, like, if they wanted buns, they could grab buns. Just wanted to eat the broth, they could eat the broth.
Cool. I'm coming over next week.
Yeah. So I kind of just try to make some food, right? And other people, like, so it isn't like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, okay. And then I run into problems where, like, I shouldn't feel bad because people that are late, well, yeah, you missed out on the food, but it's like sometimes people get there and they're like, oh, it's taco meat, and it's 6 dudes, and it's just like, you'd think 2-3 pounds of taco beef would probably be enough. Well, it's almost all gone. Somebody shows up an hour late, they're like, well, where's the tacos? Well, we've been sitting around eating
It
for the last
showed up
hour.
on-
Yeah, I mean, snooze, lose. That, and the other thing that annoys me is like people get there and they haven't like, it's like they just come in. It's like the reason I started cooking was because then the first 45 minutes was arguing about where we're going to order
Yeah.
pizza from. Well, should we get food? Should we get food? We want to get food. What do we want to get? What do we want to get?
Yeah, we have a very strict policy that as soon as there's a quorum, we order food. There's no question.
Our DM
One of-
started giving you a free re-roll that night if you showed up on time.
Oh, there you
It
go.
really worked.
Oh no, I used to have a first person who got there like for a long time got 100 XP, or first person who got there got, got a roll on this minor magic item table, which was like a potion of healing, or something that actually like so people would actually want to get there first. But then that kind of, it was like there was the one guy who didn't have kids, wasn't married, so he was always there first, and then the other people were like, I'm not going to get there before he does, so screw it, I don't care. They're just like, doesn't matter to me no more. So
Once you start incentivizing things, people get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, and I'm not perfect either. When I played, I definitely would be the person who was late, or I'd be the person that wasn't paying attention or whatever. It's tough. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I mean, you can't expect anybody. I don't care if it's board games or D&D or whatever, but you can't expect everybody who sits down at the table to be tuned in the entire time, right? I mean, it's just like stuff happens. People start talking about their week. People start talking about my kids are doing this now, or hey, did you hear what freaking happened to me at this drive-through? Just like just
And poor guys.
just telling stories and doing whatever, and so it's just kind of like, we're there to play D&D because we like playing D&D, but we also, it's like we've all known each other for so long, and it's nice to just connect with friends and talk about your life and discuss.
How late do you guys go?
What?
How late?
Usually, well, start time is 6, and we usually play between 11 and midnight.
Oh, 6
So-
p.m.
Yeah, not 6 a.m.
Okay, so that's not all day.
No, it isn't. We used to go noon to 6, but that kind of, it was just one of those things where it's like, for me, I would be like, I would come home, and it doesn't sound like it would be exhausting, but just kind of having to be like in the moment for 6 hours, and then you get home, and then it's just kind of like, and then like the kids who like want to go and do this, that, and the other thing, or I get home, my wife's like, oh, can you help me? I gotta go, put this together or whatever, and it's just like, oh, and it's tough to say, it's like, I just been screwing around with my friends for 6 hours. Can I just have some time to myself, please? Just like that doesn't work. So I think like playing in the evening works a lot better, because then you can just totally like, okay, I'm done, clean everything up and go to bed, just and get up the next morning and go at it. I don't know. I don't know. I got a good group, but man, oh man. I mean, my biggest pet peeve is the one that I said in there was like, reading the room, which is like when you're trying to like set the mood for some like epic encounter or something like that. And there's gotta be somebody that wants to make a joke,
Right.
every 5 minutes, yuck, Mr. Yuck, yuck. Gotta, it's like you're trying to describe some horrible Cthulhu-like menace, and then they're like, reminds me of my mother-in-law. Blah.
Right, yeah.
It just like,
Takes
it grabs you and rips you in half. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
And now you're dead. And we've instituted a new rule: if you're dead, you can't talk until you get your next character made. So
I saw your trivia show there, Christian.
Oh yeah, so you
You put a bunch of work into that, I think.
yeah, well, it was more work. That was the second time I did it, so the second time it's not so hard. But my partner
Pretty
Aaron
good.
wrote most of the questions, so gotta go
Okay,
for credit.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
fun.
I mean, it's all done in Illustrator. It's not even like
Yeah, I was like, are you? Yeah, you're manually doing the
Yeah.
like the reveals or whatever.
Yeah.
Be
It-
cool
it's
if it
not
was a
easy.
software tool, but I know it'd be really hard.
Yeah, it's not the best way of doing it, but it's the fastest for me.
Yeah.
I guess.
Makes sense.
It was fun. I got the
Yeah,
idea
it's
from
really cool.
watching. We watch a lot of like English or British shows, and like one of them,
Oh, do
Richard
they do-
Osman's.
Yeah, they
you
do
seen
those
that
little
one?
quiz shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've
I
seen it.
like those. Need to get more. than
Need some more views, man.
views. Yeah,
Views.
sure.
It's hard to make a dent these days.
I'm unlike most people on YouTube, views isn't my first goal. The show is really just to meet people and network because I'm an introvert and I don't know how to make friends, obviously. So
No,
Try being cool. That helps.
yeah, I've tried that. It's not working.
Uh,
This is me being
where do you
cool.
where do you live?
Texas, Houston.
Are you in Houston?
Yeah.
There's a pretty big group game contingent down there, right?
Not really. I mean,
No?
not as much as you would think. I think we're like the fourth largest city in fourth or fifth.
Do you know Kevin
Yeah. Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Nunn?
Yes,
That group.
we've met.
Are you in that? Is it not jiving?
We had like a weird interaction that was neither one of our faults, and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it.
Yeah, just say whatever. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good
yeah,
guy.
it's
He's
just
a
a
nice
weird-
guy. I mean, I don't think he would
He
hold
was,
any
yeah.
grudges on it. Yeah.
no, it wasn't even anything like that. It was like an awkward because I'm an awkward person.
Okay.
It was just
Something
an
came off
awkward
wrong.
thing. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
weird
Oh,
thing.
I'm sure he doesn't even
Probably doesn't even remember it.
remember. I mean, well, he might remember, but like he might.
Oh no, he told me about it. He remembers.
I can't imagine Kevin Dunn being like, "Oh God, that Christian guy. He's real awkward."
As far as I know,
I can't
he-
imagine that in his brain.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. But I know there a lot of people got together through him. Like I know he does like a game group and stuff. I'm not sure if it's still going on.
Yeah, I was actually thinking like, oh, I should get back together with him and like, talk to him and stuff because he ran the
Yeah,
pros.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if they put a hold on their gaming for the pandemic.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking right before COVID.
Yeah. So maybe when things clear.
Yeah.
The air
I haven't
clears.
gotten around to doing that.
Chad Roberts is in Chad and lives in Houston too. Chad, you're not in Houston.
Nice.
He's in a suburb. Houston's massive, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Like-
in Jersey Village, which is a suburb of Houston. So, but
I remember Dallas being pretty big
it's actually surrounded by Houston.
I don't
Houston
think
goes-
Dallas is as big as Houston.
compared to up here.
I mean,
Dallas
it's a big
was
city.
wide.
It's no question. It's a big city, but like,
Yeah, to me, Dallas was a wide city. To here up in the Northeast here, everything's condensed.
yeah.
Houston's been fighting Chicago to become the fourth biggest city in the U.S.
It's a sprawl. I mean, what is it like 50, 100 miles across? Like from
It's 200 square miles short of being as big as like what was it? One of the small countries in Europe. I can't remember. It starts with an L.
Latvia, Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Hi,
Maybe?
Matthew.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
By the
I
way,
don't know why.
we went over the logos. I got to pick one for you. I've got one picked out.
Some potentials in there.
Yeah, but there's basically one potential. I mean, they're all good, but I mean, I think there's one that's better than all the rest
Good. Okay. Cool.
for us. So, yeah, it's really good.
Great.
hell was that?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
Loving it.
Who is
No,
that?
that's actually from Ghosts and Goblins.
Is it?
Yeah.
How does it go?
It's when you
That's
get your
from Ghosts
key.
and Goblins?
It's when the key
Oh, okay.
drops down at the end of the level.
Interesting. I don't remember that sound.
Yeah.
That's boring.
That's boring, Matt. Boring.
I like ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
My ringtone is remember that game Dragon Busters?
I don't remember that one.
Where you basically had this guy and he had this sword, he would just go like this, and there was these snakes would come attack you, and you'd basically go into dungeons and you could throw fireballs if you had scrolls, and it was like 1980s, really old arcade game.
I don't remember.
The theme music is my ringtone. See if I can find a screenshot.
Yeah, Dragon Rolls, Dragon Busters.
Dragon
I
Buster.
thought I was an aficionado of old video games, and I have not heard of that one.
Probably a Canadian one.
It's
Yeah.
Tato, I think. Namco.
Tato, Namco.
Namco?
Busters.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about a good old coin-op arcade games. How like $3 or $4
Yeah.
bucks worth of quarters was like a really nice afternoon with your buddies.
Yeah. I love arcades. I had one right behind my house.
I'm liking pinball more these days.
Well, Jen loves the cream
I want to get a
games.
pinball machine, but I don't have anywhere to put it.
My favorite
I might have to put it
all-time,
in the Board Game Geek building.
my favorite all-time pinball machine is the
There's
Star
always
Trek
that,
Next
Scott.
Generation one.
I love that Star Trek.
I
Next
hear
Generation.
that one.
It's really good.
That's not a bad one, but there's nothing better than Adam's Family.
I haven't seen that one.
Adam's
You
Family's
haven't lived. The Adams Family pinball game is, I
Have you seen the
actually-
Monsters?
I have
played-
the
Have you played the Monsters one?
no, I haven't played the Monsters.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, oh, fine, whatever.
Might
I,
give your
uh,
Adams Family a roll for the money.
No, so what was I saying? No, the PlayStation had that a really good pinball emulator where you could get different
Boards.
different boards and stuff. And Adam's Family was on there. I mean, I would just sit there and play. I mean,
Was it similar to the actual real?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
like,
what's the-
okay. So there was one thing, and I was just stunned that they actually included this in the emulator, which I mean, obviously it's possible. So in the Adams Family, if you've played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In the Adams Family pinball game, there is this basically this thing that you have to hit. I think it's like a gate or something like that. It's like the door to the mansion, or no, it's like the bookcase, and you have to hit it a certain number of times. And after you hit a certain number of times, it turns, and then it has a spot for you to aim for, where like you can lock a ball to start the process of getting the multi-ball locked. So there's this whole process where it's like, if it opens up after you hit it a certain number of times, then you can lock 3 balls, and then you can do multi-ball. But in a really weird situation, because it's a kinetic game and the ball can bounce around and go whatever, it's possible that a ball could bounce because it hits something just the right angle, bounce up and fall behind the bookcase without actually unlocking it first. And if you did that, it was worth like 5 million points, and then you'd hear Raul Julia from the movie, "Dirty pool, old man. I like it," because like the game thinks like it's like because you cheated, right? You didn't do it on purpose, but you cheated. I've played the Adams Family pinball game on my PlayStation probably 1,000 times, and one time I actually did that. They actually, because the kinetic engine, the ball bounced over and landed in the spot. And the game, "Dirty pool, old man." I was like, no way! I can't believe they included that. It was like, I was just stunned that they included that. But no, Adams Family pinball game, one of the greatest pinball games of all time.
Cool.
And it's on a lot of people's. It's on tons of people's
it's up
top
there.
10. And it's one of the most produced pinball games ever. The thing about pinball is fun to play. But man, oh man, it is really tough to find a place that maintains their pinball games. Like,
there's a place here in Dallas. Like me and Lincoln Nicky went during BGG Con
yeah,
a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And as soon as we were like, oh, this one's broken, we talked to the people, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll fix it. And they like came out, like they put the guy on the floor. Like this is on a Friday night. Put the guy on the floor, and like he fixed it. Yeah. So they had that.
Well, every minute that it's not working is money they're
Yeah.
not making.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a free play all night. You pay $20 or whatever.
We have a place called House of Targ here. That's a pinball place.
Stick H, yes, there is a hand that grabs the ball where Thing comes out and steals the ball from you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you ever play the Elvira machine?
Oh yeah, well
No.
there's two Elviras. There was two Elvira ones.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, there is one that's better than the other. And that's one of my all-time favorites too. I mean, it's like probably like the one that I probably am like Adam's Family I'm pretty good at, but there's one I think it's like it's Elvira like Spooky Nights or something like that. I forget what it's called, but it's like and it's all about different crazy bad B-movie horror movie things. And yeah, it was that was probably like in person and also like me like on the digital, like I could probably that's probably the best pinball game I can play at. Maybe the game's it's just easier too, but I was really good at that pinball game. I don't know, my point is that finding people that maintain pinball games is tough.
Yeah.
And I when the Fargo Pinball Club was still a thing, I would talk to the guy that ran it, and he was talking about all these things like yeah, you know, it's like one of the things that happens no matter, it doesn't matter, it happens to every single game. And I was like, what's that? And he said, have you ever been playing and like you see a pinball, it's falling straight down and all of a sudden it just starts to curve on you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's because the balls become magnetized.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that makes sense.
And he's just like, because he's like the metal balls are on so much electricity and it's rolling over it enough times that it eventually just becomes magnetized. And so when that happens, basically you have to, and there's ways that you can strip the polarization out of them. But he's like, that's the thing that you have to constantly do. And that ball, you know, it's like, and he was talking about how the ball banging against everything. He's like, it's all kinetic. So, I mean, everything breaks.
Yeah, everything wears out.
Yeah.
Everything wears out.
For
And
sure.
so,
Yeah, the rubbers wear out.
yeah. Maintaining
Rubber.
them, he said, is just, yeah, ridiculous.
I mean, it's a hobby. I went to this place in Dallas and there was, you know, they had a whole string of them and I'm like, I really want one, but I don't really want to maintain it. And she's like, it's like a hobby. Just like fiddle with it every once in a while.
Well, yeah. And there's a lot of
they're
places,
trying to sell it to me, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of places that will it's kind of like maintaining it, right? You know, it's like having a hot tub. Like there's services that you can hire that
You could probably hire
somebody out somebody comes out every
pinball
2
guy
weeks.
to tune up your pinball machine.
Yeah, once a month they come out and just tune it up. But the thing about it is that I always remember, like I had a buddy that lived, you know, like I lived on, when I was growing up, I lived on an offshoot from a golf course, and he lived on the golf course. That means his family was rich. But so I would bike over to his house all the time because in his basement, his dad had like basically purchased a pinball game, and the pinball game was, oh man, it was like one with a police car on it. I forget what it was called. The
APV?
Maybe. I can't remember. That doesn't.
Oh, was it
sound
pinball
right.
or video?
It was pinball.
Oh, I don't know then.
It was pinball. It was like, but anyway, so there was a pinball game, and it had like, I just remember it had like a gun that you would pull, where like
I remember that.
Oh, nice.
Pull the gun to shoot the ball out, and then there were certain mini games where you'd pull the trigger. Like you would say, you know, shoot the perps, and you have to grab it and like pull the trigger a bunch of times.
What was the name of that game?
Yeah, I can't remember to save my life.
High Speed Chase?
Maybe it would police, you know, SWAT. I don't know. Anyway, that he had a tabletop centipede game, you know, where two people, you would sit down and then depending upon whose turn it was the other. Yeah,
it would flip
pinball, and
reverse.
then he had a stand-up Galaga game in his basement. And so and he was a guy I played D&D with and all this other stuff. And so I'd bike over to his house and I go into his basement where like, you know, his, you know, the stuff was, and like I go there and they're of course set up from free play, and I go there and I play them, you know, and then I was just like, how come you never play these? He's like, I don't know, I'm just bored, you know. And it's just like, he's like, when you have access to it, he says, you just you play it like crazy.
Owning it is like 20%, right? Like desire for it is 80%, 20% of owning it.
Yeah, he's just like, you know, it's like, you know, and like, you know, he would, and then I would play Centipede over and over and over and over and over again, you know, then he would and then he'd come over and like because he played it like 10,000 times, he would like double my score. And
Right.
Just he had all the
Yeah,
scores.
I bought that Star Wars arcade one up,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't played it in a year.
Really? You bought the
My-
Star Wars the trilogy one?
Yeah, but it's it's a mini. It's an arcade one up,
Oh, okay.
not a real one, not a full. But it has
So-
the Star Wars games in it. It's got Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And it's like, yeah, it's fun for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I haven't
that
touched it in a year.
So it's just like anything else, man. I mean, it's just like it's like you feel like, oh, this would be awesome if I just had unlimited lives. Like I remember when you played Gauntlet and you'd just be like, oh, if I just had unlimited health.
My friend had a gauntlet machine and we had unlimited lives. And
And
it's boring.
Yeah, it was
It's
boring.
boring.
I mean, it's just like after a while you just start running into all the ghosts because you don't.
Yeah, you're
care.
just like, I'm killing myself.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because it's not fun anymore. I mean,
Don't shoot
there
the
has to be
fool.
some sort of challenge. I mean, it'd be one thing if there was a story, right? I want to see the story. Just like, okay, I want to play through this game and get through the whole story and figure out everything that's going on.
The Simpsons I also bought the Simpsons Arcade one up,
Oh yeah?
but that's at the building, and I haven't been to the building since maybe like 6 months.
Well, remember there was
Really?
all those
Well,
sides.
I
the
got
side-scrolling
people that
fighting
work at the
games.
building. I don't have to go.
Yeah, sure.
They take care of the building.
Figure you want to get out of the house once in a
But I
while.
need the power is strong here, man. I don't want to leave the house very often.
All those
My,
side-scrolling fighting
that
games,
good.
though.
Gotta get outside, Scott.
All those side-scrolling ones.
I-
I mean, those were all just quarter munchers. They were just
Yeah,
made
the
to-
Simpsons one, you'll die like
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Or Kung Fu. I love that game.
Oh, Kung Fu was fun. Yeah.
Kung Fu was good. Remember Yayar Kung Fu?
Mm.
Yes.
Where the guy's like jumping around and you had the
Yep.
little the hit kind of symbol came up whenever you hit the guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah. My buddy,
Those were
when we
great.
had the arcade behind my house, one of my childhood friends got so good at the joust game that he lasted for like pretty much almost open to close on 1/4.
Yeah, I had a friend that could
Ridiculous.
do the joust.
I've said
Not
it
sure
before.
why.
My claim to fame was when Dragon's Lair, I could beat it on a quarter. And
Yeah.
I was actually known as the kid who could beat Dragon's Lair in a quarter. Just I'd walk in and people would be
Nice.
like,
I think I
could beat
think
Dragon's
my-
Lair.
In my retirement, I want to own all these arcade.
Dude,
I mean, I don't want to take care of any of it though.
you gotta
So
build
I'd have to basically just show like it's like Flynn's. I'm
Yeah.
living above Flynn, Flynn's arcade.
Mhm.
I'd live upstairs. I come down and put a high score in a game, and then someone else take care of the whole place.
Put the dark glasses on and
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean it's one of those things for me. It's like you'll never be able to. I mean, it's just now with how awesome PlayStations and Xboxes and everything
Yeah.
is. I mean, you'll never be able to reclaim that.
I know.
I mean, I remember.
You get bored with those games fast.
Yeah, but I remember hopping on my bike and then meeting up with my buddies. Like that was our thing where it was just like there we got there like $4 or $5, that we can turn into quarters, and we'd hop on our bikes and ride them out to the mall. I mean, it was like, and then the whole way you're like laughing and joking, and you're making, you're talking. You get there and you it's like, and there was the one kid who had the good, like the bike locks. You wrap the bike lock around all of your tires, and and then you walked into the mall. And
I was never really allowed to go that far.
really,
No.
So anytime I went across the tracks, I would risk the getting in trouble.
Oh,
Really?
Run the risk. In fact,
I had
my-
no supervision.
my friend's mom came and found us one time. Like she found
Wow.
our bikes out front of the arcade and like, you need to go home now. Like that kind of thought. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, great.
Oh, we
So
used
she
to
basically called my mom and told her,
at like 12, we were biking like 15, 20 kilometers away.
Yeah.
That's,
What's
like,
that,
that's
like
like
2-3
100
miles?
feet, right?
it's like
It's
2
like,
miles.
it's like 10, 15 miles.
Oh, 10, 15 miles. Oh, that's pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were never more than like 5 miles.
We
Or
would go to
maybe
Billingsbridge
2,
Plaza,
more like
and it
2.
was like it
Yeah,
was like 2
Geez,
hour
15
walk.
15 miles is forever.
If I had to guess, it was like So 4 miles to ride bike to get to the mall. And I just, I mean, I remember.
Do kids ride bikes anymore? I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, I almost got hit by one while
I
was-
don't. Yeah.
I think
They do around
So
here,
my
Scott, but it's a
son-
college town, you know.
Oh,
my
yeah.
son will ride his bike for fun. Like he's like, I want to go ride my bike for fun. It isn't like when I rode a bike, it was like I need to get to my friend's house.
I need to get somewhere.
I need
Yeah.
to get somewhere. I got Donkey Kong money burning a hole in my pocket.
So you could kick the Donkey Kong machine and get a credit.
Yeah.
You do that to Dragon's Lair too.
Yeah.
I noticed
No,
that. I was
I mean,
talking
you had to
Jen
kick the
about
shit
that.
out of it, so you didn't want to do it too often because like it made a big noise.
Remember the bring back to life trick in Ghosts and Goblins?
I do not. Wow, you're like the Ghosts and Goblins expert, man.
So
got a thing
what you
for
had to
it.
do was you had to get. So you know how you could fire your weapon at the tombstones and,
Yeah.
they would get that spirit that would turn you into a frog,
Yes.
so or into a toad.
Which is always like death.
you had to do it so that it coincided. You had to have no armor on, and you had to do it so that it coincided with the end of the timer, so that you would hit it. I think it was like 14 hits to the tombstone creates this thing, and you do it so that you hit. You wait and you hit it for it spawns the sorceress. You die into a pile of bones, and her magic spell revives you, and then you're invulnerable.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the remakes of that game?
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Well, the more modern, like the PlayStation,
Oh yeah.
where it was like 3D.
Well,
more-
I remember the Ghosts and Goblins, and I mean, and I never did this, but I heard about this. Like if you played in the arcade and you played it and you got all the way to the end and you beat him, like beat the final.
Couldn't. Yeah, it was two
Bad
times
guy.
through.
It was like, hey, you won. What do I win? You get to do it all over again.
I thought he didn't give you a win. He just said you got to go through it again. Like,
Yeah.
for some reason.
I finished it on MAME. It was pretty much the same thing, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. I remember.
I remember you had
I
to play
remember-
through 2 times, which sucked.
I remember. I remember. I made my
The same
name
exact
emulator
Yeah,
Just
Pretty
until
much.
I could
on hard mode.
so I could beat Black Tiger. I could beat.
Oh,
Black Tiger. I
love
did
that game. That's my email. That's my email sound. The discovering the shop sound
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
No,
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna
like
read it.
I've thought
I like
about.
that sound.
I have definitely thought about how cool it would be to get one of those things that Pete has, like that whole
Oh yeah, those mega.
the mega things where like
Yeah.
you send your hard drive away and like once a year and they send it back with everything they've added, so it's like every single arcade game known to man.
those things-
Do you want the
Right.
emulators? I
1,000
got
pounds.
MAME.
No, I got MAME. I mean, it's just
But he
like,
has this giant machine.
like a
Oh.
custom made machine
It's
with
like a
sharks
4-player.
and everything. And
Yeah,
it
it's huge.
has
You put-
4-player spots. Each one has
Yeah.
a trackball. Each has a joystick. Each has. 6
That's a big
buttons.
footprint, man.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, that's a big.
That's like a 6 foot, 8 foot footprint. If you
Plus it
count
weighs
people,
like 1,000 pounds.
plus it weighs like 1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
yeah.
table
it's-
saw.
And
There's a one of my friends on Facebook has a virtual pinball, and I was
Well,
like, "How much
I've
does that
seen those
thing
too.
weigh?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like 500, 600 pounds."
What's
Yeah,
a virtual
where-
pinball?
So it's a
it-
screen,
It's a screen. Yeah. Go
but
ahead.
it looks real. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-dimensional
Really?
rendering of a real physical table. Like they have real. I mean, it's all pirated, I'm sure, because I don't think anybody like supports it. But he bought a pinball. He bought this 3D
Visual pinball? Is that what it is?
something like that. I mean, it looks
Oh yeah.
sharp.
Look at that.
Like he's got everything. I'm like, you have Star Wars? Yeah, got Star Wars.
So you can change the game.
Yeah,
if
you just
want.
basically play any game you want. You just flip
That's
through.
hilarious.
Yep. And the play is strong. Like his was loaded up. It's got the bumpers. It's got the solenoid, the shaker, and you
Oh,
got
nice.
real flipper feedbacks. You can feel the flippers. Yeah, it's
I always like the quirky games. Like one of my other favorites is Major Havoc. It was a vector
Yeah,
graphics game. That was
Yeah.
really fun.
I thought I liked that game, but then I actually got it and I didn't really like it.
Oh no.
I
Or
remember it being
Frontline?
better as a kid.
Yeah. Frontline was also pretty good.
Frontline.
Where you're like the little tank guy and you have like the rotational
Yeah,
joystick.
Yes, I love that game.
You can go into small tanks or big tanks.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Mm.
I can't play it on main because you gotta have
Akari
the
Warriors,
hardware. Pardon?
Remember Akari Warriors?
Yeah.
How about
the
Russian
spinner.
Attack?
Oh,
Or
God,
Green Beret, depending on
God, I
which.
hate that game.
Mhm.
That game cheats. You remember
Well,
the, you hit the
I just remember it was
flamethrower
like
It's a
Rush,
floating head.
Rush,
Rush and attack.
Yeah, Rush and the letter Attack.
Yeah, we lived at the arcade, man.
Yep.
Remember
Oh,
Mr.
yes.
Dew?
I
And
didn't.
then there was Mr. Dew's
It was
Castle.
Castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bubble Bobble.
Big Doug, Bubble Bobble.
Or
Frog
when they tried to make that anti-drug game, Narc.
Yes.
Yes.
It was so bad.
It was so violent, that game, Narc.
It was. RoboCop was a really good game.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
RoboCop was
Remember
very good.
that game, was it Xenophobia?
Yep.
3 people
Yeah.
could
3
play
people
and you
could
were
play it.
and you 3 people could play it and like there was the 3 different levels and you were fighting all the weird aliens all over the place.
Yeah, when I was
Smash
in
TV,
university-
Smash TV.
Smash TV,
I
man.
love Smash.
We had a
TV.
Smash TV in our office when I was working in video games.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like good luck.
Oh my God! What
Oh,
total
man.
carnage!
Yeah, total
Total
carnage.
carnage!
Yeah. That was a game I always wanted to beat. That one.
I don't think
But
it ever had an ending.
that was a quarter eater too. That was just
Yeah.
non-stop quarter eater.
Those were the days.
No, and now it's just like
You old fart.
now it's just like, oh, like we have all these like games with like
Unlimited
super
lives.
super
yeah.
amazing
Like-
graphics and super amazing, and it's just like
Yeah.
So they
Oh,
just
right,
released the
Wednesday.
Skywalker saga. Have you
on
seen that?
Lego, the Lego Skywalker
It's
thing.
pretty awesome,
I heard
but
that.
you never
my,
run out of
My
lives.
son's been begging me to.
You
drop
never run out of
70
lives.
bucks
It's
on
good,
it.
man. It's really good. It is very entertaining. Very.
I played Star Wars on the just a regular Famicom.
Hmm.
And it was because I had a Famicom in the drive, the little disc drive. And you had one life. And if you got like your toe got nicked once, you were dead.
Really?
Back in my day.
It was so frustrating. Good game though, but it was frustrating.
So what is this Lego thing? It's got just a big story.
It's all the Star Warses.
It's just the whole story.
All the Star Wars.
All the
It's
Star Wars.
got all the episodes, and you play through the whole movie, like on every like it's the whole thing.
The
it's
whole
really cool.
9
It's-
movies.
I mean yeah, and each movie has like maybe 4 to 6 parts in it. So you have like
Those are fun games. I like
so
those games a lot.
you literally start off with episode 4 and you're getting attacked, right? And you're Princess Leia and R2 and C3PO, and you're like trying to and Lego games have like really cool secrets. Like there's tons of secrets, and
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah.
so many, and then you basically have to kind of replay. I mean, I don't love replaying it, but like if you get a character, like if you unlock, let's say Yoda, he can do a certain move that can unlock things from like the first mission. So you can put a Yoda into the first movie
right.
and go back and get that stuff, and you unlock ships and characters and costumes but the best thing is the cutscenes of these things is fucking great. They are so funny because they kind of rewrite the movie a little bit. I mean, they take the movie, but like they rewrite it a little bit.
Right.
So at the end of the first episode, or episode 4, you blow up the Death Star, and like you're at the medal ceremony, and,
Mhm.
and Princess Leia is like handing out the medals, and Chewie's trying to grab his medal, and she keeps taking it away from him and like putting it on someone else, and And then everybody gets their
Oh,
medal.
I've seen that.
He has no medal. Like at the end, he's like, "Wah," you know.
I did the Indiana Jones one, and you try and get all the
Yeah,
characters.
that was
It
a
takes
fun one.
so long to get all the characters,
Yeah.
but it's fun. There's a
And
lot of
each
really great
character-
humor in them.
Every character has a power. I think every character has a power.
Yeah.
So only C3PO can access the security stations, and R2D2 can do the little, you know, the dial, you know, the little, you know, he turns his arm thing, and that's a puzzle, and that'll usually like open up a secret or something, or
Yeah.
it's really well done. I mean,
Unlock the blast
Yeah,
door.
get
they're
a
very
little,
good.
you get a little bored, like, you know, you put in like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, I'm done. You know, now each one is different. Like it's quite different, but you get a little tired of running around as a Lego dude.
The last Star Wars game I played was Knights of the Old Republic, which was
One of
I've
the
never
best
played
games
any-
ever.
yeah, freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was BioWare.
That sounds right.
The last actual Star Wars game I played was X-Wing.
I never played.
You know what the
Oh,
crazy
that's been
thing
a
about
while.
Knights of the Old Republic is?
They brought it back. You can play
The-
X-Wing again.
The
now.
combat was
Have
based
they?
on D&D
Nice.
3.0,
Was it?
like the
I didn't know
whole
that.
game. Yeah.
Oh, the rolls. Yeah, you would have the rolls.
Huh, that
The
makes
D20 rolls.
Yeah. I think about
Yeah,
it.
for a long time you couldn't play X-Wing because they wouldn't make it to where you played on the new Windows and stuff, but now you can. And I got my joystick out and everything. I played about 2 missions. I was like, yeah, that was fun.
TIE Fighter is where it's at, man.
Oh, sorry, TIE Fighter. That's what I meant. TIE
TIE
Fighter,
Fighter.
not X-Wing.
TIE Fighter
you-
came after X-Wing.
You could do the secret missions, you know, be part
Yeah,
of
it's TIE Fighter.
Vader's
actually.
secret order.
You can get the TIE
You
Advance.
get
and all
you
that
get
stuff.
The TIE Defender.
tattoos. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome. Those were the days of PC gaming, man.
I used to play X-Wing on dial-up AOL against
Wow.
people. It was horrible. Someone in a house pick up the phone, you lose.
I think my favorite flying game was on my Amiga. It was called Wings, and it was just biplanes, and you would try and shoot down all the German Fokkers and stuff. It was really
What?
good. You heard me.
Weird.
Yeah, I never
Everybody
remember that
knows what he
game.
was trying to say.
I think I remember that, but I can't really remember it.
It was really well done.
I
Yeah,
wish I got a
Amiga,
perfect
isn't it?
recall of all those Amiga games. I was an Amiga pirate from hell, man.
So was I.
I had a briefcase filled with floppies.
Okay, you dwarfed me then. I had the 9 floppy disk Dragon's Lair I bought
Oh,
from the
geez.
store because it had such strong
I
copy
remember that.
protection on it.
Yeah. You couldn't. Eventually, I just started. I did buy games, but you know, like early days, I was like copy everything.
Sort of so
We would
damn-
actually meet at the library and have copy parties.
You're such a nerd.
I know.
What a nerd.
Yeah.
You like games?
I only had the 500. My friend had the 2000.
Do you remember the demos?
Yeah.
Demo scene? Yeah. Where you just put a floppy and it would, would show you this really awesome 3D graphics and sound. And
Yeah,
then-
the one that blew me away was called Sentinel, I think, and it had like a gladiator's helmet, and it was like this sword. It was good, and the rendering was just unreal.
yeah. Like, how did they do that
In 1985, I
in
don't know.
1989 or whatever it was,
Whatever it was, yeah.
88 and 89?
Yeah.
All right, nostalgia
Yeah.
engaged.
We're old.
Yep.
Number 1.
There's a couple of YouTube channels out there that dwell in nostalgia.
Yeah, I watched
Well, you can
Games,
find all
with
of
the
it.
dude who
hardware,
did
The
Commercials.
8-bit guy or whatever.
Did you guys see that one? The Mist guy?
No.
No.
Yeah, they were talking about how like they had to create the technology to like have that art show up.
Yeah, I remember them when it came out. Them talking about
The
that.
Mist was amazing.
Yeah.
I went through all of those.
I never played it.
Did you? I never did face the first one.
I've never
Like
finished
5
it.
of them.
I played it, but I never finished
I
it.
never finished it.
They're
either.
amazing. There's 5 of them.
How did you do it without cheating?
There's 5. Wow.
Yeah, no cheating
Lots of hours
whatsoever.
checking
It took forever.
They're so esoteric, like they're
Yeah.
so like How would you figure that out? You remember Seventh Guest?
Oh, an 11th hour? Yeah, those were
Yeah.
awesome.
Those were puzzles you could actually figure out.
Yeah.
Or play down.
But the annoying thing was like every time you wanted to reset it, like you'd had to like wait for the stupid thing to load, and like the graphics would be like, come on.
Mhm.
You're doing the queen jumps or what? No, the knight jumps. Like the chess puzzle. I'm like, oh man, reload, take forever.
Soon you won't have to worry. It's got to be shot into your brain.
Through the Tesla. data
Well, I suppose we should ask since we didn't. Anybody got any grievances? Nobody.
I'm sure you do. But...
Today I actually got an order wrong. I went to go pick up food. It's just, I always tell myself, look at the food before you leave. But I was annoyed because they said, oh, it'll be ready at this time. And I got there like 2 minutes early and it wasn't, it was late. So I was just sitting there and everybody's just kind of staring at me. And I had 3 people ask me,
What'd you
it's
order?
like, Noodles and Company. And,
Noodles and Company.
Yeah, just it's
What
like
do they
a
make?
chain.
Never
Just
been there.
Got some salads.
Tacos.
They make salad.
Tacos.
No,
They make
and
companies.
so I was, and so then I got home and it was, the food was wrong, and I was just kind of like, I called them up and I was like, yeah, so I went and picked this stuff up and food was wrong, and they
It's
were
not
just like,
noodles.
they're like, oh, well, did you want to come back out and get it? And I'm like, well, not really. It's just like, I had to drive there, get stuff, come back, and they're like, oh,
Did you
well,
get a gift card?
no, they gave me, they credited back my meal to me, and I was able, and they processed it and took care of it. Like,
And did
I'm
you
so
eat what you
sorry.
got?
What?
Did you eat what you got?
Well, yeah, they didn't want it back. They're like, just keep the
Yeah.
meal.
The grievance is you got free food.
No, it's not a
Your
grievance.
food that he didn't want.
It wasn't a grievance. It was just the fact that they actually.
Oh, the
considered it.
humanity.
What do you order from Noodle? I've never had a Noodles and Company. What do you order?
Neither was.
Well, if I get noodles, I get they get like a Japanese noodle thing and I usually add marinated
soba?
steak to it. I don't know. It's just that
I
but
love
in this
soba.
case, I just got the classic chicken Caesar with grilled chicken, and it doesn't matter. I
Just
will say
wondering.
this: there's the coffee place that my wife has me go get her coffee in the morning. Like the people that were running it, this woman, super nice, just very pleasant, very just remembers your name, like remembers my order. I just walk up, whatever. She decided she didn't want to run a coffee place anymore, so she went back to work at a bank where she'd worked before, and so then some new guy came in, and like I'm sitting there standing there waiting in line. And admittedly, whatever, he was an assistant manager somewhere else, and now he's going to be this manager, like. And I'm not saying one thing or another. And again, I know what I look like, so I know that, like everybody says, if people don't know me, they think I'm like some big giant gruff a-hole. So it's like 2 people in front of me, woman ordering some sort of coffee. Like the guy's just super chatty. Hey, how you doing this morning? How's this crazy weather? Because it was snowing this morning. How's that crazy weather treating you? Da, 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 da. It's like, oh, did you want to maybe try that with the other thing? It's like, I really like that type of drink with this in it. Would you like to try that today? Okay. Do you need anything else? Just chatty. Next woman comes up, chatty. Just like, it's like taking an extra like 2-3 minutes. I get up. What do you want?
Oh, you.
They know you, Lance.
warned about you.
They know.
So then I gave him my order, and he was just like,
Mocha Frappuccino Venti.
No, I gave him the order, and
That
then
can't be
he asked if like if it were rewards, and I said yeah, and it goes by phone numbers, and I gave him the phone number, and he was like, that number came up with Rebecca. And I was like, yeah, that's my wife. Oh, sorry. I was just like, no worries. you know, here's your $5. You know, but then literally the next person like, hey, how you doing this morning? What's going on? How's that crazy weather outside? It's just like,
They know.
Lance, you have a mystique about you.
do I just look like
You look like you. Were you wearing
obvious.
the bandana?
It's just that the weather obviously won't affect you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
You were built
had,
for the cold
I had a black hoodie on.
Okay, well that's negative.
But I always had I had a black.
Did you have the hoodie? Did you have the
on.
hoodie up? Did you have the hood
No,
up?
I did not have the hoodie up. I had one of my.
'Cause I can imagine if you walk in there like this. It's like. I wouldn't
My
touch.
shirt said
I had
no
this
eye contact.
bandana
I don't
on.
know
I had
what
a
his
black
problem was.
hoodie, and I was wearing shorts and my Crocs, and I just walked in and I was just in there and I ordered my stuff and gave the guys $5.30 and whatever. But yeah, just like so then I was just like, why didn't I get the hey, how you doing? What's going on? How about that crazy weather? No, I just got
I understand. I never get talked to unless I'm with Aaron. Nobody even looks at me.
You look like a guy that would be like, collecting somebody's teeth to, make a to make sculptures in your secret room.
We like to look
Over
at
here?
those
If they're over here.
I can see that.
people.
Oh, I did watch this, and I think it was on Netflix. I apologize. I don't remember if it was on Netflix or if it was on
One of the 18 other streaming
Amazon
services.
Prime. I'm almost positive it was on Netflix though. There was a documentary about people that collect rare books and people that actually not only collect rare books, but actually like people that sell rare books and
Black
talking-
market.
no, it's just like and talking about like how in New York there at one time there were like literally like thousands of used bookstores and now they're like down to less than like 250 and stuff like that.
No, it's not rare,
And
but
and just and I can't remember the name of it. If you just Googled
Rare books
Used-
documentary.
used book documentary or whatever, you'd find it. It was so it was one of those things where like it opened up with like a really cool premise, like where I thought it was going to be like this kind of like overarching like talk about like
The
rarest
booksellers?
books, like just what
The booksellers.
probably, I don't know. It just caught my eye when I wanted to watch
Lively
something.
behind the scenes look at New York rare book world and the fascinating people who inhabit it.
Sounds
There
right.
you go. Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean it was one of those things where it was like a good like B to B plus documentary, and then it just kind of slowly like degraded because it was just kind of like, okay,
Prime.
can we just stop talking about like how it's like these books have provenance and how important they are and how
Did it have Fran Lebowitz in it?
I don't know.
Providence is the worst book.
Just like and how like if we don't treasure books more than in this digital age we're in, then we're going to be losing. And I'm just like, okay, enough with the sad stories here. Just like it's like I mean I'm pretty sure the guy who was making scrolls, it's like, why don't we read more scrolls? All these things with bindings, we're losing our provenance as a society.
Yeah.
Life went on.
The
just
dirty
like,
binders.
yeah. I mean, it's just like
They're ruining the written word.
Damn them.
we live in a digital world, and then that's the thing too. They went on and on and on about how like all these the stores were all these bookstores were closing and how horrible it was. And then they started talking about how millennials are like the people that are like reading and buying more physical books than ever, and it's the people
Really?
that are in their 40s and 50s are the ones that are buying digital things. And it's just like, okay, so which one is it? Is it like things are looking up or things are looking bad? I mean, it was like they wanted it both ways, or maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know. It was like, I mean, there was some cool stuff about how like in the 50s or like the 40s, there were these like two women that were like some of like the biggest book dealers in the freaking world, but like they weren't allowed in like the snobby like men's club, like got, you know, basically the people that got together to show off their books or whatever, even though these two women had like a better, they bought and sold more books than these guys saw in their lives, but because, you know, they had like, you know, just stupid freaking sexism, they weren't allowed to be in it. And then when they finally decided they'd let them in it, like they were like, yeah, sure, you know, it's just like, you know, how do we go through this process to become a member? And then they were just like, oh, well, you know, it's like you to apply, you have to pay this fee, and then you need to prove to us that, like, you know, you deserve to be here. And they were just like, yeah, we have a library that's like 5 times larger than any of you, so you know what, you can keep your fucking club, we're not going to join it anyway. Just like, and I was just like, that was kind of interesting. I actually liked the biography about them and talked about what they did and how they got interested.
That's cool.
And, you know,
Yeah, the one review I saw said it was more like a clip show instead of a beginning, middle, and end.
yeah, it was just
Bunch of clips put
and
together,
then
which is
there was weird things where it was like all of a sudden they talked about like these two people. They had these two people and they were talking about opening up a brand new used bookstore in New York, and I was
Right.
like, that's
and
cool.
they never finished that story.
Yeah, they never did. It was like
Yeah.
it was like shoot,
That's the problem
cool.
with documentaries, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes
Yeah.
they run out of money and they can't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Keep going,
show
right?
me how these people are doing. Show me like they showed like their they had like, it was like they bought some store or they leased some space. There was like a shoe, like a shoe retail place, right? And the wall, and like there were still boxes and boxes of shoes everywhere. And they were like, yeah, we have to get rid of all this stuff, and then we're going to put up our bookshelves, and this is what we're going to do, and this, that, and the other thing. And they were talking about it, and I was like, cool, show me how they do.
Show me the store.
Show me that
Yeah.
store. No, we never went back to them ever again after they talked about they were going to open up a store. You know, it was just kind
It
of like,
sounded cool though. I'm sure it turned out well.
yeah,
A really good documentary that you should probably check out around Christmas time is called Tree Man. It's about this guy from Quebec
Tree Man
that goes to New York and basically sells Christmas trees in New York, you know, in downtown New York on the street. And it's such a heartwarming documentary. The whole neighborhood that he sells, like he's been doing this for 20 years. And the truck will come, he'll unload all of the trees into his little lot that he's rented for the 2 or 3 weeks that he's done it. And the neighborhood has really kind of taken him in. They cook him meals. There's the one lady that allows him to go and shower there and stuff. And it's such a really feel good documentary. We try and watch it every year whenever Christmas time comes around.
On Apple TV.
Is
I
it?
see those little examples?
It's on
of
iTunes. No, it's not on,
Community.
I think it's on iTunes. But it's not free.
Nothing is today.
Oh, Roger Moore, who is in the chat, he's
Roger
reminding us something.
Moore.
So
The actor?
there is,
Mhm.
yeah, RO, yeah,
Is he
he's the
alive?
guy who does, he does a ton of play testing for us. Yeah,
No, I know Roger.
for Gray Fox, he's super helpful. You've
Yeah.
played with him, Evan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know Roger.
Yeah, so no, and it's RODGER.
Does his wife know?
Real nice guy, and I'm
I
not
know
just saying
that
that because he's in there. I would say that to anybody. Roger's just super nice. Anyway, so one of the few things I don't have in my D&D collection is I don't have a white box or a brown box. Like, so the white box rules were like the original like rules for D&D,
Oh.
and they're garbage. They're absolute garbage. I mean, like you can't play by those rules, and it's just whatever. And it's like I don't even own a really cruddy copy of it. Like you know, like there's some, of course, because they're 50 some years old now, so you know, finding a copy that's in like good conditions, you know, it's just like anything, it's tough to find, right? So I've had a line on a few of them that I was like, I had a line on one that I saw there was an auction for it, and I was just like, okay, and like it was going for and it was like the 6th or 7th edition, you know. So it's like it was a later edition. Box is in pretty good shape, not the best. Books were well loved, but you know, not torn. Nobody had written in the books or anything like that. You know, so like, you know, cool stuff. Anyway, so the thing was, it was like, I was like, oh, you know, it was, the bid was at like 280 or 250 bucks, something like that. I was like, well, this is ridiculous, but I'm gonna put a bid in, you know, whatever. And I put like, you know, I just said, okay, give me, you know, I'll do it for $290. It's like the one thing I don't own. I would never, it's just to own it. It's stupid to own it, but I just wanted to own it. And then there was like 28 hours left on the auction. I didn't even think about it. Just put my bid in, done, walked away. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about it forever. Like I literally had forgotten about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I should go check on that, you know? And I went and checked, because it wasn't on eBay or anything. It was on like a different thing. And I went and looked, and like 3 people who really wanted it apparently had gotten it up to like $2,800. It's just like, well, I guess I'm out. It's just like,
Wow.
Yep.
One of the local antique thrift kind of places posted a 4-foot pristine condition Coke button from 1950s.
What's a Coke
porcelain
button?
sign. And I'm like, I wanted one of these for a long time. But they go for thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, usually they have prices on these things. It's like, you know, hey, check out this you know, typographer's drawer. It's $50. Come on by and get it. But this one is like, make us an offer, they were saying.
yeah, if you have to ask how much, you can't afford it.
Well, pretty much, yeah. And I can't afford it.
Huh.
They're beautiful though, those things. Oh man.
Yeah. So I was just kind of like, well, that sucks. One day I'll track one down. One day,
Yeah,
and that may
$2,800.
never come.
I labor over getting myself a new guitar for like $400. Because mine's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't have a truss rod, you know, or whatever those are called.
Really?
So it like has started to, you know, and like the action is like super crazy off the fretboard, and it's
What are you playing?
It's in different tuning no matter where you are, or depending on where you were on the fretboard. It's a super like common but bad off-brand Hohner, H-O-H.
Oh yeah, I know Hohner.
Yeah. Like they're not good.
oh, I forgot to say this. The worst part about the bidding on that thing was, it was just like how everybody had to make sure, even if they weren't going to bid, they had to comment like, I'd bid, but I already own 3 of these. I'd bid, but I already own 2 one-signed by Gary Gygax. I use one as toilet paper. I have so many, you know, just like why? Yeah, great. You know, super. You're awesome. I mean, I'm sure if I was trying to sell something, if like, oh, I got 17 new comments on my auction. I wonder what people would say. Oh no, they're talking about how they already own a bunch and they don't need mine.
I
Great.
don't need this.
Go away. You know, just like,
I don't think people comment about why they're not buying things, do you?
yeah, just like I wouldn't.
Right.
Oh no, my personal favorite. My personal favorite is this, and I will. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut on this, but I love when people come in to Kickstarters or crowdfunders and they say, you know, I hope this campaign goes really well. I really love the designer. I think they're awesome. However, there's absolutely no way I'm going to bid for this because the company that's going to publish this is garbage, and I don't think anybody should give them money. So you really want the designer to do well, but you also want, you know, just like, what? Just thank you for coming in to talk so much about how you want all the success in the world for the designer, but like your hatred for the other side just can't stop yourself. How about you just say nothing? Just say nothing. Just go away. Just go away. And don't say anything at all. But
yeah.
the greatest thing about the internet is it's given everybody a voice, and the worst thing about the internet is that it's
Given
given
everyone
everyone a voice.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
What he said.
It's fine.
So
Okay, it's fine.
I don't have a grievance, but I have a happy point.
Ooh.
That bucket list client I proposed to last week.
You're
Came
getting
through.
married.
Did you get on any?
Nope. No,
Oh,
so
your
I-
client went through?
yeah, I landed the gig with the client I wanted. So
Can you talk about it or is no still?
I no, I don't think so.
Okay. Just asking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I signed the contract today, so I'd rather err on the side of caution for that, but eventually I can.
Oh, good for you, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Super jazzed.
So do you hope that it's going to get you into certain things that they do?
Well, you know who it is, right, Christian? I think I told you.
No, you haven't told me.
Oh, okay. So they do a lot of different media things, this company. And I've been a fan of their IP. for a long
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I do. I know who it is. Okay.
I've been a fan of their IP for a while. So I'm just kind of hoping that, I mean, part of this is rubbing elbows, the opportunity to rub elbows with some people. So
Got some ashy elbows there.
but can you do this?
Some moisturizer.
So yeah, anyways, it's kind of, it's fun. It's I think it'll be, I mean, these guys are fairly new to the space too, so in this particular space, so but I'm really excited anyway, so we'll see what it has to hold.
What are you doing, man? I missed it.
I landed a client that I've been trying to
You
get
can't
for a while.
tell.
Oh, nice. Can't tell.
No, I don't think so.
You're not.
I might be able to
important
tell who it is, but I'm just gonna, I'll tell you after.
Yeah, just in case. Better safe.
You
than
put it
sorry.
in the private chat to frustrate more people who are watching.
enough. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there you go.
And I lost my client because I spoke out about it. Whoops.
Jen and I have been watching that America True Crime Story. They have a series. One was about OJ. One was the Varashi murder. I think it was.
yeah. The OJ one was really good.
And they put out another one about the impeachment, Clinton's impeachment. We just finished watching that. Even
the
though-
one on like what was it, Gore Vidal's murder or something like that,
Was it? Or I thought it was Versace.
or Versace? Yes, you're right.
One of them. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then, like I said,
Blow
the
your
impeachment-
mind. Find something out. Something new.
It's. I remember this going on, but yeah, I did actually find out some stuff that was new. It's it's dramatized for
Matthew, Playboy magazine.
It's a pretty
well
good show.
done, sir.
Wow.
That's quite the client to land.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm a bachelor for 5 days. Don't tempt me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time.
Only took 5 days. Well,
Giselle's gone home to New Brunswick for 5 days to see her family. I put her on a plane tonight.
It's nothing quite like old Brunswick,
Yes, that was the best Brunswick.
That was the best Brunswick.
I do like a Brunswick stew once in a while.
Brunswick is definitely a place, right? Somewhere. Gotta be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though New York was once New Amsterdam.
Even old
Why they've changed it, I can't say.
York was once New Amsterdam.
I do like
well, that's going to be in my head now.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of them every day.
That's a cover by They Might Be Giants.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I remember from the Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes, the other one, Wacko, Yakko, and Dot.
Who did the original?
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, that's the one. Yeah.
They did Istanbul originally?
Have you watched the new ones at all?
Watch the first one.
I've seen
They were
some for it.
not
I haven't
good.
seen it.
I
No?
Yeah,
watched a
well,
couple of them.
I watched a couple of them. I'm like, nope, just not doing it for me. You know,
The
Yeah.
Four Lads. No, August 12th, 1953. Istanbul,
dad
not
loves that.
Constantinople.
my dad loves the Four Lads.
Huh.
My grandmother
Four
did.
Lads.
There it is.
There it is.
I was driving by. I think it was a meme I saw. Somebody, the couple of the lights went out on the letters of the Five Guys restaurant, and it was the F and the E. It was just said IV guys. And like one guy says, "Who did they fire?" Because it was
Four
four
guys.
guys.
Right.
IV.
You got 5 guys all the way up there?
Yeah, we got a bunch of them.
I don't think it was that expanded that far out.
I like
Wow.
Five Guys.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. What I really want is a fucking In-N-Out burger.
I've never had one.
Do you have any in Portland, Evan?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a couple.
I've had it
Just
once
one
in
in Dallas.
Vegas.
What's so good about it though? I don't get it.
I just love the little flat burgers. It's so tasty. They're just,
All right.
Really? Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Is it like
And they're
White
done on a
Castle or
spot
something?
top. Pardon?
Is it like White Castle or something?
I don't know. I've never had White Castle.
You're not missing much there.
Well,
The
we
one
like-
time I did have it though, I was in Vegas for Photoshop World, and I'm like, I walked. 'Cause I Google mapped it. I'm like, okay, it's not very far.
Yeah,
I
I've been
walked.
to that one.
I walked to it from the Mandalay Bay, where I was staying, and had dinner. Had lunch. I'm like, okay, I've got hours to kill before my next event. Batman, one of the Christian Bale Batmans was playing in a nearby theater. I'm like, it's not very far. I'll walk it.
Yeah.
You don't walk in Vegas.
No, you don't. Couple of overpasses.
I got heat stroke.
Yep.
Did you?
Right.
Oh.
And I got to the theater and I was overheating. So I just sat down in the movie theater and I just stayed there for about a half an hour because my movie didn't start for quite a while. Watched my movie, sorta. And then got back to my hotel, crashed for a bit, went for dinner that night at some restaurant on my own. And usually I'll have like a couple glasses of wine with, especially if you're out at a con, right? You know,
Yeah.
I had probably 6 or 8 glasses of water.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was shaking. I had a
Yeah.
wicked headache. Oh, it was not good.
I've been
Not
there.
good.
Never again.
So,
Me and Michelle were like, we looked across the street. We're at Bellagio.
Yeah.
We're like, Venetian's not that far. Look at it. It's right across the street. I
it
can
was
see
a
it from here.
mirage.
30 minutes later, I'm like
Mhm.
freaking, I'm like totally shaking and like sick and completely heat stroked.
And then
Right, he
another
freaks you out.
another time when I went to TypeCon in Denver. Denver, I guess, is the Mile High City. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I got off the plane
Yeah,
and
for
about
sure.
4 hours later, my hands were excruciating. I'm like, what
You have
the
oxygen sickness or something? Like you were low oxygen?
I don't know what it was, but I downed a big 2-liter thing of water and they felt so much better. I don't know what it was, but it was so weird.
Huh. That is weird.
Like I had
Yeah,
I have arthritis in my hands, so
Yeah.
it was really kind of exacerbated. I
That
guess.
sucks.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I have a mystery game to figure out.
Ooh.
42.
73.
It's really unlikely anyone here is going to know it. But Lance, if you want, actually, can I share my screen real quick?
It's enabled. So
No.
No. Yeah.
Let me find my.
Never
Like-
again.
Oh, look what I got. In the
I learned my lesson on
Finally.
that one. I go see what you got, Matt.
Does anybody know what this game is?
Nope.
Not
It's
a
got an
clue.
F on it. It's a big F. It's got 3 minis that are kind of like
Looks like an older game with the.
this is like a helmet, or I can't tell exactly what that is. But it's a
Feudum.
treasure chest. Is it feudum? I don't think it's
I don't
feudum.
know.
I don't think it's
Do
FIFA.
you know the answer, Scott?
No, I do not know the answer.
Okay.
We were going through the games
Or
in
how
the
about
building
FIFA?
today.
No,
and
those aren't the pieces from FIFA.
they found this, and it was like, okay, so you got brown leaves and green leaves and yellow leaves.
Oh, they're
are they-
leaves.
I
thought
don't know.
they
Are
were
they
peoples.
leaves or people? I don't
Those are
know.
wheat.
Yeah, it's like
They're-
sheaves of wheat.
Like wheat.
I think they're probably
Oh yeah, they could be.
laurel leaves.
Could be laurels. Yeah. Of
Game
three
that
different
uses
types.
wheat, narrowing it down.
Brown,
Barley.
yellow, green, and gray. And then
Scott,
3 of these
barley.
ugly minis. Any idea?
None.
Okay.
Those are
I-
my.
Well, I mean,
my
it
only
looks
guesses.
like it.
Feudum, but
It
I've
looks
never
like it's
played
got to be some sort of medieval game. So
Yeah, it could be medieval. It's got a tower. It's got a chest.
The
It's
writing.
got a-
There's no
Is
board.
that a helmet? So the guy, the really helpful guy, Scherzo here, he did reverse image search. Like
Meringue buys.
it's all frosting or whipped cream.
Yeah.
Funny.
Like, okay, what? I'm really surprised that we normally I put these up and they're solved in minutes,
Yeah.
but no one has solved this. There you go. Can anyone help identify?
I'm looking at the pieces for Feudum. I don't think it's.
Man, what was that you held up before Scott put that up? I couldn't see.
Oh, my copy of Merchants of the Dark Road finally came.
Oh yeah, nice man.
Oh, I've had mine for a while.
I chatted with those dudes at Gamma. I had a nice
Oh,
time
post on
playing with them.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
Yeah.
And my copy of Wonderland's War is in the mail right now. I got
I got my
notification.
Wonderland Warren the other day.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one too.
Have you guys seen the pile of shit you get from the
Marvel.
and Marvel United?
I saw Christians in the background.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
Oh, Christian's
yeah.
in there?
Photos.
just
Oh, that's
obscene.
that's
Is
not
that
tall
everything,
enough. That's not
Christian?
tall enough, Christian.
No, it wasn't. It was taller.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's all right there.
So
And did you
let me
back
ask you a
the-
question. How much of an investment is that?
It was like 300 something.
It's like $300.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it?
Do you think it's
It looks
worth
like more than $300.
It's a lot of money.
Feels like
But it looks like more. It looks like $600 is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's 300 ish.
Yeah.
Did you buy the mat?
no, I didn't get the map.
That's $50, I think.
Yeah.
$60.
That was too much.
I mean, I really like the game. Like it's a simplistic game. It's a simple game. It's not difficult, but it is fun.
Yeah, I was really sold after doing the Thanos one from the
Oh yeah, I haven't done
the Marvel United one.
that
was
one has like it's a campaign, right?
Yeah, you got to play 4 of them. You
Yeah.
got to fight 3
You
of
got to beat
Thanos'
all. You got to beat all
children.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little, not a cheatery, but I felt like I cheated because I played Doctor Strange, and he has this ability to take a card out
Back,
of the
yeah.
bad guy's deck. Well, when you're doing the Thanos one, you're supposed to slip the gems into the bad guy's deck, and you can see the backs of them and know that they're the gems, like they do it on purpose. So there was nothing in the rules, so I was like taking
That's
the
fair,
gem.
fair
out.
game. Fair
Yeah.
game.
So
But if
by
you
the
don't play
time we
with
got to
Dr. Strange-
Thanos, he had
Yeah.
no gems. We kicked
Okay.
that stuff.
That's almost a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, this is a
Little
little
cheaty.
overpowered. So don't.
a little
Yeah, so if
peak.
you try Thanos, don't be Doctor Strange because it's a little overpowered.
How many characters?
I started painting the minis from the first one. I got about
Yeah.
15 of them done, maybe 20.
I did from the first one, the first 5 or no, you get more than that. You get like 8 or something like that. But those first group that you get in the first box, I did the spray in black, put the little white thing on top, and then that's as far as I got.
Okay.
How many
I never
characters-
broke
It's fun to
up.
play with painted ones, man. It makes it a lot
characters
more.
total are there?
Oh, there's hundreds now.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
mean-
first one had like 65 or 70.
that would be really hard to balance.
It's shockingly good though.
Yeah.
Here's the deal: they're not that. Every character has like one power,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
Mhm.
Hulk has the same power. He has 3 special power cards. It's Hulk Smash. It's all the same. So he's very like limited. But all his deck is just smashing stuff.
What does Hulk do? Hulk smash.
Yeah, and then like Captain America does like heroic stuff, but he doesn't fight very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives out stuff.
He
too.
gives out. Yeah, he's a support character. It's
He's
it's
buff.
really it's a I'm really surprised at the depth they've gotten out of that game.
Yeah.
Like every character sort of feels like their character. It's really cool.
And the bad
Like,
guys. Villains.
The wasp can fly around the board and pick people up and drop people off, and it's really neat. It's really, really cool. Yeah, and all the villains are awesome.
I haven't played with the Wasp yet.
I'm waiting for mine. I haven't got mine yet.
Someday, Scott.
Yeah, once I get
Oh,
my
yeah.
Wonderlands War
Yeah, I
in,
know.
take photos of both of them, put them up on my site.
I'm a fan of Wonderland War.
Yeah,
The only thing that the Infinity Gauntlet is a little cheap.
Yeah, the
It looks
plastic
like a
is real
cake.
thin.
It looks like
Yeah.
a cake mold.
Yeah.
Does it?
no.
Yeah, it's
really?
literally like. I mean, do you have it nearby or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I was hoping for a little bit more,
Mhm.
but it's a cake mold.
Yeah, the plastic's a little thin. That's the problem. The gems are nice. though.
Nobody else has played any more games, huh?
I
Nobody plays
played a
games
few.
anymore.
I've been
I
playing Ark
played,
Nova.
Ark Nova?
You know what
Oh.
people need to do? They need to go play Last Light on Tabletop Simulator and then go back to game on Game Founder.
2 more
That
weeks.
looks pretty good on camera.
Well, take it. Yeah, if you take it out, you can. Yeah, it looks good on camera.
Yeah, once you get it out,
I mean, it's a thing. Like all it does is hold the gems, right?
You can make a
Yeah.
bunt out of that.
you don't even need.
You can make
Yeah.
a bunt. It's a bunt cake kind
Yeah.
of mold.
It's.
fun.
Yeah,
I
make it.
I can see through it if I hold it up. Like,
Yeah.
you might be able to.
Yeah, it's super thin.
But yeah, still fun.
I played Yakatabuni.
Yakatabumi?
Yes, you can find it in the BGG store.
Gesundheit.
Sweet. Which one is that, Barry?
It is. I can't remember the designer's name now. It reminded me like Hold the Line, or I played a game with Jamie at Beer
Battleline?
Monsters. Battleline, I'm sorry. Or it was a Warcraft game. Maybe Conquest or Invasion. It was sort of like that. It was a line of boats, the Yakatabuni, I think it's called, that you're trying to get control of by playing cards, but you're playing to the reverse side, which is really counterintuitive at first, but once you get it, it's kind of cool. And it's basically you're trying to make patterns of fireworks, which the theme is very lightly tacked on, but yeah, you're trying to make patterns, and you're shifting the cards on your side to make the patterns, but you're also trying to block the other player. Like if there's on the center boat, there's symbols on whether you're going to play. Either way, you're going to play a card that the other player will affect, but certain symbols will dictate whether it be then that player will come back on you or something in the center will happen, like the line will shift or something like that. It's a pretty cool 2-player game.
Cool. I didn't know we were selling that one. I
Um,
mean, I have not seen the new stuff lately. I'll share my screen real quick.
Way to stay up to date with your
I like the graphic design.
yeah. So like you see the fireworks cards, they'll be shifting and all that depending on the symbols in the center boats there. Like you'll play on your side to affect the opposite side. Once you get, it's counterintuitive at first, like I said, but once you get past
Right.
that, it's pretty.
What are you trying to do? Make patterns? Make shapes and stuff? Or
Yeah, and then them little circles.
is one
little
player
things-
dark and one player light?
Yeah, it's what was it? Dark Moon and White Star or something like that.
Right.
Like I said, the theme's very, very tacked on, but yeah. So as you can see in the center boat, the black player will play one side and then to the white player, and they're trying to make these the patterns and all that.
Prove that you're the best pyrotechnician by wowing your houseboat audience. Cool. Hey, review from Z.
Yeah.
I know, watched it.
And then picking fruit or fruit picking, creating game in BGG store. That's a nice light rondel game. Where you're just you're basically trying. It's a racing game, and you're basically just trying to fulfill these market orders. Basically,
Hey, look at that. Z uses my artwork for his avatar. That's funny.
Does he?
Did he?
Yeah, with the big lapels. Was that you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
created a promo card for him for asking for troubles, and
Oh,
that's what he
nice.
looks like in it.
Yeah, I was noticing that his little avatar, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
There's actually okay. There's some pictures of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a cosmic being.
Yeah. No, I was appreciating that. Yeah, I didn't realize you made it.
I can play with this
Is
one.
it good for 2-player?
Yeah, that's basically how I played it yet. I haven't played with more than 2-player. I'm waiting probably this week. My only complaint is the little seeds are really small. I have a hard time picking them up. Jenny even said she did. The big fingers and all. But it's a fun, light little rondel game. I want to try it with the neighbors' kids.
Cool.
And then patios.
Do you guys feel like smaller games now are like completely missed?
Yeah,
A
probably.
lot of the
I mean,
time.
there's
Yeah.
like one review.
Yeah.
If it's not like a mainstream hit AAA Kickstarter title, it's like
I mean,
But there's
Get it.
less of a
that's how you
hook for
build
small
your
games,
channel,
right? So they
yeah.
got to
Yeah.
be excellent.
yeah, they
Well,
gotta-
I mean, it's funny. Two of the Kickstarters that I worked on that launched last week and this week are not big mini games, stuff like that, and they're just not doing as well as we'd
Yeah.
hoped.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
I
got a
think
little card
I
game
think
that, like,
the
people are like,
market is
Okay.
saturated with too many big games.
Yeah, so do I.
Now, I don't know if that's any different than it was, but I think the smaller games still, they used to come through.
mhm.
I think that
Understand.
the audience who likes big games have stuck around Kickstarters, whereas the
Sure.
audience that likes those medium light games and stuff have gone,
It's
wait for it to
evaporated.
hit the shelves. Yeah.
It's evaporated a little bit.
I mean, they're not willing to pay $80 for a $40 game, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, plus, I mean, the small card games that have done really well, classically have had those huge IPs attached. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like,
I'll be right back, guys.
you couldn't put no thanks on Kickstarter, right?
No,
No matter how good it is, you can't explain something like that. So those kind of games have to go word of mouth. You have to get out, 3,000 copies on mass market shelves and hope somebody picks it up and talks about it.
Right.
It's kind of a risk.
I guess it's not really worth for the publishers anymore to make them smaller games either, right? I mean,
Well, most of them want to do the Kickstarter and make the $1 million, and who
Yeah.
can blame them?
yeah.
I mean, because just like reviewers tend to cover the more popular stuff, like the publishers want to publish the more popular stuff because everybody wants to get the largest piece of the pie possible.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, tastes do change over time, but right now there is definitely a certain flavor. I'm getting my wife into Grand Austria Hotel.
Nice. Good
She had
game.
been playing online like a whole bunch, and now she's slowly having interest in other games.
Did you back the Kickstarter?
I didn't know it was happening, so I missed it.
They had a Kickstarter. Did they
What was
change
the
the rules?
Kickstarter?
They added an expansion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't get it because I liked the game already. Like I didn't need a
Yeah.
expansion.
How
I
do
just
you
want
usually
fancy
play it,
bits.
Christian? With 2 players? How many players?
I usually play 2, but I've
Yeah.
played 3 and 4 before. I like it better at say 3.
Yeah,
Do you?
it gets a little long, but it's still really good at 3 and
If
4.
everybody knows what they're doing, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it can get a little AP.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
played it. I played it at 4 and I swore never again.
Oh,
I
is
never
it
played
because of
3.
the dice rolling and you can't get the dice you want, kind of thing?
No, it's just because I could take my turn, go out, get a pizza, come back,
Oh.
and wait 15 minutes longer for everybody to come back
Yeah.
to
Oh,
me.
wow.
Take a
You
minute.
know.
I haven't experienced that, but I'll just yell at somebody if they're taking too long. So
Just pick one.
Yeah, if you're the first
Wait,
player,
I'm
then you
doing
gotta
math.
wait 8 more turns before it gets back to you. You know.
You know, actually, Grand Austria Hotel, we're playing online, and it's like I like almost all games better in person, but online is really great because you can sit there and really do all your AP min max math without other people waiting on you
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
because you're playing async anyway. So you know they might not check it for another 3 hours or whatever. So you've got plenty of time to make all your considerations.
Does that mess you up whenever you play it for real?
No, I still prefer it in person.
Well, it's like I have a app to play. What's it called? I got it right here. Acquire on my phone,
Yeah.
and I just blast through it in like 5 minutes because against the AI, they're
Right.
dumb, and I figured it. So I did that like thousands of times, and then I go to play it at the table, and of course it doesn't play. They're not playing like the AI, right?
Right.
So I get destroyed because I'm like, this works on my phone. What's going on?
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
sometimes online can throw you, but you're talking about playing against other people.
Against other people, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to teach her now Great Western Trail, which online is real tough to learn.
I've yet to
There's
play that.
just so much going on that when you see it all on the table, it's one thing, but online with like a small little screen, trying to find all the different info.
Great Western Trail has a runaway leader problem for me.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm usually the one running away, but I feel bad about it.
Sure.
Oh, you feel bad about it.
Because you haven't faced the likes of me.
No, but it is
It's
that
not
thing
your
where you're
fault.
like,
I need to play better.
it is that thing where you're like 2/3 of the way through and you're like, you already know you've won or you've
You know
lost
the
or,
outcome,
that kind
yeah.
of thing. And you still got to keep going.
It hasn't been that bad for us, but maybe we're just at very similar, skill levels for that game.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Maracaibo is a lot better at it because everybody catches up per round, Same designer.
I never did play Minecraft.
Maracaibo's awesome.
I
really
think
like it.
I have a large gaming gap.
Yeah.
Ah.
You mean you don't like playing large games?
No, I hate people. No, it's not. It's just recovering and all that. There's a 3 or 4 year gap where I just couldn't get around people. Like even Jamie and them guys up at Beer Mongers. Beer Mongers isn't around anymore, but they moved to another place. They're about an hour 15 minutes maybe away.
I ask
just haven't been able
people.
to up there. Yeah.
One of the questions I ask people on my show is, would you rather play one 4-hour or one 2-hour game or 4 30-minute games?
Depends on what game.
It depends on the game and who I'm playing with.
I'd rather play 48 5-minute games.
Good for you.
Not one of the questions.
Oh well, I didn't. I mean, I
longer
didn't
affair.
realize we had to be railroaded by your questions that you
It's
asked.
lightning round.
What a fantastic interviewer you are. It's like I answer this way. That's not it. That's not allowed.
It's
Get off
lightning
my
round.
show.
It's lightning round.
Yeah, I play lightning games, 5-minute games, 48 of them. 48 of them. Boom, 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 boom. We're
Wrong answer. You lose. You come back 1 year.
and you say you want views.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't say
I
that.
know. See, that was a
Where's
full
Forrest?
circle. That was a full circle.
His
coming back.
wife just had a kid last week.
Oh yeah.
Was it last week?
No fucking excuse.
He's been pumping out his
It's
nutball freaking bunch of eggs. So I
We just
mean,
had a kid? What?
Forrest just had a kid.
Forrest's
Oh, right.
wife.
Wait, he didn't have a game. That's true.
That was 2 weeks
The
ago.
royal we.
Was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember.
He's still
grown up now, right?
So
How long
last
does it
week.
take?
Kids ordered on the iPad.
Now, Chris, I think my preference is typically going to be the longer game most often. But, I can also sit there and play Fantasy Realms for an hour and a half too. Just play a bunch of games.
Yeah, with me, like I said, it depends on the crowd, but like with the guys at Beer Mongers or that, it's usually one longer game. If I'm with my wife and all that, it's usually a couple shorter games. Yeah.
Is it
I prefer- I
monger or beer bonger?
Mongers. It
Monger.
was. They're I can't remember. They're closer to York now. I can't remember the name of the place they go to now.
Old York?
No, it's just there isn't an old York there. It's it was the capital of the country at one time. Yeah. But
Down
yeah,
on your screen, you've got New Amsterdam. I realized it after we talked about they might be. It's like New Amsterdam.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
Exactly. Oh, he's not even.
Even
he's
old
working.
Brunswick was once New Brunswick. See, we also went that full circle with the New Brunswick comment.
the guys over here with Days and Night, I noticed they like the quicker games. Like usually it's an hour and a half game at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got their sweet spot. I really like a little more meat on the bone.
Yeah. So well, it depends on my mood.
Go
too.
on.
I could spend 3 or 4 hours playing Battlestar or a Nabi or something. It just depends on the mood.
Yeah. I usually don't have time for, whatever. Twilight Imperium or anything.
Have you never played that? I would like to. It's just
I have started playing it several times and never finished the game.
I've never played.
Yeah.
The only
Like-
time anybody wants to play is at a convention, and I don't want to spend an entire day on one game.
yeah.
Like one of my very favorite games growing up was Masters of Orion, which, they've essentially tried to make the board game version of several times in several iterations. Twilight Imperium being one, Eclipse, all that.
Yeah.
And it's just it's too long. And you start and you're like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I never did play that one. That one is probably the farthest away from the actual video game. From what
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
seen.
they use the same artwork and stuff, but it
Well, that-
thematically
the
does it,
Moo-
but
The
doesn't
Moo
feel.
board game.
What was that?
Was there a Moo board game? Masters Orion board game.
That's what he held up.
Yeah, he just held up.
Yeah, and like almost universally, it was just like most people didn't really like it. From what I heard,
It has a seal of excellence on it, Lance.
I heard it
From
was
the
fun.
Dice Tower.
I never heard anybody say they enjoyed it.
I think if you don't expect it to be like the computer game, you'll like it.
Yeah,
But if you
Thank
expect
you.
it to be like the computer game, you're gonna be like, this doesn't play at all like the computer.
yeah. It's basically just a card game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine, but it's not my
It
vision of what I
thematically
want.
fits, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what gives you that feel of Twilight Imperium, but only been in a 1 hour package. That would be Last Light.
What's that,
Grey Fox
Lance?
Games currently seeking funding on GameFound.com.
I don't remember them pushing your game this hard.
Go back
it.
And if you've already back it again. We got some brand new add-ons that you can. If you already backed it, you can add some. We got some
That I just
add-ons.
updated.
Just updated.
You can give us more money.
Oh, I played a game. I like that action selection type thing, like San Juan or Puerto Rico, or
Last Light.
is it? I don't know. But I played Patios also in the VGG store. That was pretty cool. It was like an action selection game where you're building a patio.
It doesn't sound very engaging, but it could be really good.
It depends, if you're pointing it out, it is. Yeah.
I can fit
Artwork.
3
What is that game called?
launchers.
Patios.
Patios. I don't know that one either. I am so
Cos-
behind.
Maluto? No, that was the one I just did.
I feel like you're just making up these game names.
Yeah.
as you go along.
Cosmos? I can't remember the name of the company. now.
I tend to like Cosmos games.
No, not Cosmos.
No, it's not Cosmos. It's called a Tomo.
Tomo.
I don't know it.
No, it's a Spanish. I want to try that one.
We go for the esoteric stuff.
Yes, he does. I'm gonna try that one with 3 players though, because they got a reverse player direction, counterclockwise, anti-clockwise is how they put it.
Anti-clockwise. yes.
Anti-clockwise.
Before.
I'll always remember
clockwise.
that in my old school copy of Talisman, which I can probably dig out, but it said
Did they
there.
say anti-clockwise?
It says the highest roll goes first and play proceeds anti-clockwise around the
like it.
table. I always thought that was just like the craziest thing. Why? Well, I don't know, but we're doing it. So
That's what's happening. I like it.
Was that version 1, 2? What was that?
it was whatever. It was the GW one.
I still have my version 2, but the last one is the one I play.
Oh, I got this cat hanging on me and he's gonna be mad that I'm gonna move, but I gotta grab something to show you guys. Yeah.
Did you guys see the new Thor?
I saw that there
Yeah, I just watched
is
it.
one, but I haven't seen it.
No, I've been trying to
Sweet child
avoid.
of mine, man. Sweet child of mine.
Yeah.
There's some funny stuff.
Love and Thunder.
I don't know much about the Thor comic books, but was he always in a pirate ship or?
I don't know what that pirate ship thing's all about.
Did
I don't know what any of it else is.
he
about.
go to
Was that
Athens?
even was that Natalie Portman in that trailer?
I
Could
think
be
it
in-
was. I don't know.
I could not tell.
She's
I thought
supposed
I
to be in it. Yeah.
I thought I saw Russell Crowe there too. Is one of the Greek gods or whatever the hell that
Oh, is he in?
supposed
Is
to
he
be.
Russell Crowe there?
Yeah.
It's a lot of goofiness for sure.
Like a little goofy.
Well, it's Thor. It's it's
Are you
Taika
correcting
Waititi,
it?
right? Taika Waititi is doing it.
Yeah.
Again?
yeah,
Nice.
again, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Ragnarok
so-
was awesome. I'm glad he's.
So here's a
Oh,
question.
that's right.
What do you guys think about this this game on Steam? Hold on, I'll tell you what the title is. I can find
Listen
it.
to some sweet child of mine.
I
My
watched
old,
him play that live.
My old
once,
cover
man.
band. We used to play that one. It was
The game is called
crowd pleaser.
Paladin's Oath.
Did you sing it?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Paladin's Oath.
Paladins of what?
You guys
Never
ever
heard of
this?
this. God, no.
Paladin's Oath.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I would say it's 90-something% Mage Knight.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of those coming out. Like Euthia came
I'm like-
out.
Well, I mean, it's a video game,
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't. I mean, it credits Gloomhaven, which is weird.
Huh.
I'm like, how is this Gloomhaven?
They
It's,
just
more-
missed.
it's mostly Mage Knight.
Yeah.
I could tell.
You know, I never played it and I still have it. I never opened the
Mage
box
Knight?
because the
Mage
rule
Knight?
book was just like,
Mage Knight's a good game.
Or what,
It's a
Major?
good game. Yeah.
It is a really good game.
It's got
I-
some issues, but like ultimately, it's a really good game.
I've never played. I played the Star Trek version of it. I never played the original.
I didn't
The
know.
Oh,
what
it's a
was
Star
it?
Trek
Frontiers or
Version, yeah, it was so muddy. Like everything was like dark. The tiny,
yeah,
tiny little symbols.
What are you talking about?
yeah. The graphic design wasn't great on that one.
Talking about Mage Knight.
Oh, gotcha.
There's a video game out called Paladin's Oath, which is basically, I want to say, I don't know, maybe 90
spiritual
something. Yeah,
homage.
exactly. Almost exactly the same game. I mean, I think it has some differences. So I won't say it's
Yeah.
exactly the same. But they don't even credit Mage Knight in the credits.
Probably never heard of Mage Knight.
They don't credit
Yeah, they
Matt.
might
They
have.
don't credit nobody.
We made
So I'm
this
kind of
all
like,
ourselves in a vacuum.
is that cool?
Yeah.
What is
can't
it called?
copyright
Paladins
mechanisms.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's true.
Speaking of
Paladins what?
Oath.
Paladin's
Paladin's
Oath.
I started playing online Seth Jaffe's
Jab.
no,
Yeah.
No.
Crusaders.
Thy will be
Crusaders.
done.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never, I
Great
never
game.
played it. I never
Yeah,
played
it's
it
a good
before.
game.
I'm playing it online. My first game right now. I'm like, this is a good game.
Pretty good game.
It's one of my favorites. I was almost the
It's a
artist
really
on
good
that
game.
one.
What's that?
Almost no cigar.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
good.
it was weird. He asked me to give him a drawing of a knight. So I did for the amount of time he wanted to pay for. And then he was like, I want it more detail, more realistic. I was like, oh, yeah, I can't do it in the time you're looking for. So he
Yeah.
moved on. And then when the game came out, those knights aren't realistic at all. I was like, I could have done that for you in the time. I was like, what happened? So,
I could have done it.
and now it's like one of my top 10 games.
Yeah,
so
it's
now
really
I'm
pretty
upset
good.
that I have to
Could have been a contender.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
this is
could've
what
been somebody.
this is what I wanted to show you. So I found this. I've been digging through a lot of my old stuff, throwing stuff away, whatever. But I found this in my
Gamer's Guide.
the Gamer's Guide. So we talked about this.
A bronze dragon.
I wish I had the others. Because this was
It looks like a zine.
It is a zine. It is
Oh.
absolutely
Old school.
a zine.
Yeah.
And this is, I find some of the janky art that's in here.
Did you guys ever do a zine growing up?
Portland is
contribute
like
to
a
a zine?
super super.
So like
zine town.
there's a unicorn drawing or whatever. You can see everything is in like
Oh yeah.
typewriter.
God, I
So
wish
basically-
zines were still a thing.
Well, they are
Come to
Zine
Portland,
Quest,
man.
baby.
Are
In
they?
the
no,
'90s is still.
and those are
alive.
all highly produced. Whatever. But no.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
not the
thing
same.
about this, that I wanted to point out was so in Fargo Moorhead there was a group that basically it was a local gaming group, and it was for playing like D&D and like whatever, and like we met in the basement of the Moorhead Public Library the first Saturday every month, and like we played just tons and tons and tons of like my mom would drop me off at like like at 10, and then she'd come back and pick me up at like 4, and I'd always be so sad that I had to leave because it was like all these people that we played D&D all day long. And then hold on a second here, I'll find so like, and then there's and then this is so weird, I don't know if you can read
So
that.
what are the articles like in that zine?
Okay,
I can't read it.
so you can see my name listed there.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Lance Meister.
Yeah.
That was my phone
What's
number.
V?
way
What's
back in
V
the
and
day.
V?
Yeah,
V and V.
okay.
AD&D,
Villains and Vigilantes.
What is car?
I love that game.
Car Wars.
Oh,
And
else?
then an AD&D, and then it was like the B through E is like age groups that I'm willing to play with, and then NST or ST, no set time or set times. I'm willing to play when we get together. I'm willing to play as soon as we get started, or I'm willing to play at a set time. So I've always wanted to try to find like the people that do this. So yeah, so get this. It was they had a
did anybody ever contact you?
well, no, they and like when they like had a bad turnout, they would like call and, hey, what can we count on you to show up next month so we can have a better turnout? So you can see they kept track of how
Was
much
people's phone
money
number
they
there or
made,
something?
like credits or whatever, how much the money they made as far as, and like they kept track. And it's like I found this and I was just like, this is absolutely amazing, so it's like, here he goes. From the editor, this issue is finally out after several delays. We apologize for the wait. However, the offerings in this issue should more than make up for it. There are 4 game reviews, articles, a new character race for role-playing gaming and AD&D, an expanded directory for gaming, and original artwork throughout. As this year ends, we remind some of you to renew your membership. The price is $5 a year, and will continue to be so. And as long as it will continue to be so, no matter for as long as this group is together. So please renew if your card is close to expiration, and so we can keep your name in the next directory for gaming. One final note: the Gamer's Guide is produced by gamers and for gamers. We need your contributions in the form of articles, artwork, typing, and especially input. Let us know if you like or dislike something. With enough support from you, we can put out a truly great magazine.
What games did they review in that thing?
There's a review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in here, the role-playing game.
Okay.
There's a review of Warhammer 2nd Edition.
Okay.
Let's see here. Review of Fantasy Miniature Battles. The Origin and the Deities of the Eldra, which was there was a guy who ran AD&D. It was like true D&D, meaning that like no matter whoever showed up played, and he would have as many as 16 people playing all at once, and he kept control of it. And he would he'd basically say, if somebody showed up and they wanted to play, he'd hand them a character sheet and he'd watch them roll 3d6 straight down the thing. he'd say he'd like roll your hit points. Okay, this is what you got, and he would just give you like first level. He'd go, you have a magic sword that was given to you by your dad, and you have a suit of rusty chainmail. Okay, go.
Your
And
character.
then
go.
then go. You sit down. You're ready to play. And it would you would go.
Motivation is find out what happened to your father.
Actually, Hobby Hut still exists. It still exists in my town, and like they mostly sell art. I wonder if I can still bring this in and
Dude,
get the
Jackson Car
15% off.
Wars?
It never goes away. There's no expiration date on this
Are
coupon.
you still paying your dues?
Shut up.
It's just
Also, in the state of Oregon, coupons
Game
can't,
review.
expire. So you can
The
bring it here and
Thieves
use
of
it.
Tharbad, Iron Crown Enterprises' latest Middle Earth adventure model. Yeah, and then
I actually really liked Middle Earth.
the Society for Creative Anachronism is a nonprofit organization organized with the study of the Middle Ages.
I did a little bit
so
of that.
basically talking about how to do the things, and then they talked about how ValleyCon 10, which is still a convention that goes on in Red River Valley, and notice the great artwork about being at ValleyCon. I love that artwork down there. Yeah, I'm signing up for stuff. Just like, but
It still looks like a con.
yeah. ValleyCon 10 held September 20. We ran 9 events ranging from 4 to 6 hours duration and was priced for $2.50. You could be in an event. Yeah.
That's a win.
No. I was just and then what do you say? The games are however, Kevin Johnson ran 2 excellent AD&D events, and some Canadians put on ElfQuest games.
Who are
Canadians.
Those Canadians.
Canadians.
The
Some
elves.
Canadians. It was
Some
Kevin Johnson and
Canadians.
some Canadians.
what is it with you Canadians and the elves?
President was Terry Croton, the vice president, Blair Nelson, secretary, David Sandbeck, treasurer, Bill Norris, advisor, Wes Garvey. Yeah. So the beginning balance was $55.83 in a checking account. And then they brought in $336 and they spent $205. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I just it was like it was super cool. It was like
totally
I found this and I was like,
transparent.
what? Yeah,
Totally
no,
transparent expenses.
Yeah, no, and they delineated the debits were miscellaneous, which $10.41, which who knows what that was.
Paper.
Yeah, guide production $18.33, guide printing $46.91, games bought $2, gaming events $107.82, and then depot rental fee $20. Oh, this is when we were at the train depot still, not at the thing. There's a train depot in town, still exists, where the old train depot doesn't no longer a train depot, but you can rent out the area to and do stuff in there. Like there's a bridge club that meets there that I know of. But yeah, anyway, that's what I did back when like 19. God, this has to be like 81 or 82. And I love on the back of it here is like for sale, like people selling stuff and wanted this.
Classifieds.
Yeah, classified. And there's one lost a new cover player's handbook AD&D with David Ingberg in front cover. If found, call this number. David Ingberg was one of my best friends, and he was in the group. He lost his AD&D thing. I wonder if I ever found
You ever
it.
find it?
I don't know.
Never would.
Wanted someone to paint miniatures. I have 15, 20, and 25 millimeter figures of various types that need painting. I will supply paint and color schemes. Your fee is negotiable.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it?
Your fee is
That's
what you
great.
call them.
Your fee is negotiable.
Terry, I hear you got some figures you want painted, And then wanted, right at the wanted, your miniatures, painted or unpainted. Why sell these at a rummage sale when I'm willing to pay a reasonable price? I am also interested in your used games. Same guy, Terry.
Prices are negotiable.
Yeah, prices are negotiable. Yeah, no. Anyway, I wish I had the rest of these. I'm pretty sure I've lost them, but
That's fun.
yeah, no. I mean, just I've always been a giant nerd, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, the thing looks pristine.
Yeah, well, it's got some wrinkles, but here it says the Gamers Guild The fastest growing gamers organization in the Midwest. Benefits of membership: meeting other gamers, discounts on gaming materials at participating stores, a year's subscription to the Gamers Guide, your name listed in the Gamers Directory. All this and more for only $5 a year.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Is it quarterly?
I have no idea. Gamers Guild meetings will be posted at the following stores: Bader's Hobby Shop, Hobby Hut, and Lantern Comics. Hobby Hut still exists. I was actually in Bader's, and oh man, Bader's. So this means nothing to any of you.
Bader's?
It was called Bader's because it was like the people that ran it were like it was Mr. and Mrs. Bader, Bader.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's like a costume shop / magic shop /
One of them
like
ones.
your kid is in like kids dance, so they have dance outfits there. Like I like literally, since my daughter is in a play, she had to get stage makeup, and my wife and I went there, and I hadn't, and I mean, it was like, now it isn't called Bader's anymore, it's called like something else, like Applause or something.
Called Ginsburg's.
And so I walked in there, and then we walked in, and then like literally this very, very nice elderly lady behind the counter said, you're here for play makeup, aren't you? Like literally, like I was like, how'd you know? She's like, nobody ever comes in my store except for when people need play makeup. You know? So, but we bought the
We're
stuff
running as a front for a
yeah. But no, I mean, and they had rows and rows and rows of dancing shoes and costumes and things like that. And they say we would get really busy around like, you know, Halloween, obviously. But no, so like when it was Bader's, there was a basement where you could play all these games. There was all those people down there playing Warhammer. And then upstairs was where you could buy stuff. Man, we used to bike to Moorhead on weekends on Sunday, because in North Dakota, we were good Christians and we didn't let our stores open on Sundays. So we would bike across the river into Minnesota, go to Moorhead, and we go to Hobby Hut at the mall, and we go to Bader's, which was like about 2 blocks away from the mall. And we, you know, spend our meager earnings on, you know, whatever. But no, well, can't go home again, as my dad says. You know, you can't go back. I need to. I wonder if these people are on Facebook. It'd be hilarious if I could find these people. They probably go. I wonder if if they still have any of the old stuff. I just remember that guy ran a really good D&D game. But anyway, that's enough. I'm done going down my weird memory.
I'm trying to think if I ever had any of those game stores that made an impact in my life, and I can't really. I mean, there was one that was in Plano called Comics something or other. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a magic store, but I never made that connection of like living in a game store.
Yeah, I never even see one until I was an adult. So
Yeah, I think I started playing Magic when I was like 14 in our little game store.
Wow. 14.
We had a place called Fandom 2 that I was at probably every weekend from ages 9 or 10 until 15.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't recall any of that being around me in Philly. Yeah, or I just wasn't exposed to it. Yeah. Yeah. Like you guys talk about the mall, that wasn't even on my radar. Yeah.
At a mall, we had a
It's a
pretty
little
mall.
different when you're growing up in the city. Yeah.
Holy shit! I found him.
Gator.
No, Terry Croton.
Oh.
I'm sure that Bader's dead.
Nice. I did ask the very, very nice older lady about it, and I asked her if she remembers the Bader, and she's like, yeah, I mean, because but I mean that's like they went out of business. She was like, 30 some years ago, and I was just like, oh, memories. on the corners of my mind.
I was like, I think I mentioned House of Chen on here. It was a Chinese place in Chinatown that was open like till 6 in the morning or something. So, being that I worked overnight, we go there a couple times a week to eat. And I got to be friendly with the owner, Mr. Chen. He's like, my kids don't want the store. I'm getting too old. We're going to shut down. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. I was like, you've been a staple here for longer than I've been alive. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a shame. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
Nah. I'm sure you could mention something in Moorhead or Fargo or East Bumblefuck, whatever. And yeah, same
Oh,
story.
You just want to trash on me. That's horrible. Thanks though. I appreciate it.
Trash on you. I think I trashed on Fargo, East Bumblefuck, wherever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Too
nice.
sensitive.
Oh, I mean, I'm not making fun of you. I'm not.
You have.
I'm not tearing. No, I haven't done that. in
Yeah,
years.
bullshit.
You just wanna like tear people down. I get it. That's fine. Whatever.
I usually build people up. I think.
Does that make you feel
Yeah.
better?
Did anybody go into PAX
PAX.
East?
No.
I think it's this weekend.
I was thinking
What-
about going to
Wondering.
PAX Unplugged, but I don't want to conflict with BGG.
When is the date?
I think it's like a month away, but still like leaving my wife with the baby like that
Yeah.
back to back can be tough. I think it's a month earlier or something.
Where were you thinking of going?
I'm going to go to BGG, but I
Right.
want to go to PAX Unplugged also, but I think they're a month away from each other.
Yeah, that's why I've never gone to Unplugged because I've always skipped
Yeah.
BGG.
I thought about
we
going
got-
on Unplug a couple of times.
We're a month
It's only
away
4
from,
months away.
BGG Spring.
Yeah.
I went to the first one whenever it was family.
Are you getting excited?
Is there
Can
a
you tell?
big-
Look at him.
is there-
He's ecstatic.
is there a big difference between the
I wish I
different BGG
was feeling better,
cons?
but yeah. I mean, by the time it comes, I think I'll be good to go.
You'll be on the mend.
Are you doing better with the medications? It takes a couple of weeks for that.
Yeah, it's still affecting me.
Is it? Yeah. It takes a couple of weeks for your system. Any medication is like 3
Yeah.
or 4 weeks for your system to get used to it.
Sure.
Is there a big difference between the different BGGs?
I would say, so we have the whole STJ committee come for spring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Coming
there's a
this
lot
year?
of, yeah, they are coming.
Okay. I didn't know what
So they teach the games nonstop.
Oh, really?
They just sit there all day and teach all day. It was pretty nice of them. Because they want to see people's reactions to the games.
Yeah.
They don't
That
know.
makes sense.
They only know the finalists. They don't know the actual. I mean, they only know the nominees. They don't know the final. What the winner is going to be.
Yeah,
So they use that as a sort of a test ground.
that's cool.
So that's kind of fun. So that makes it different, and it's a little more laid back. It is family friendly. There are kids.
Mhm.
Wouldn't say there's that many kids, but there are kids around.
Yeah.
It's in a different hotel. It's in the
Cool.
DFW airport, DFW Hyatt, which is really nice.
Is that the one
mean-
that's like a little bit smaller that you had to move the other one out? of?
Yeah, we were up against our limit of like
Yeah.
2,000 people
right
at that hotel,
for the
which was tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tight.
Sweet.
So, but it's still, I mean, I haven't seen the hotel in a couple of years. They remodeled some of it. So we interested to see what they've changed. But it's it starts on a Friday. BGGCon starts on a Wednesday. Right. So you have people on the weekend right away, and then it goes to Monday. So it ends on Monday afternoon. But most people are out of there by noon to 2:00. Yeah, it's just different. A little different.
Okay.
Not that much. I mean, if you're gonna pick one, BGG Con, the main,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
but
Was that December
fun.
this year or November?
Is the atmosphere the same?
November.
Scott?
no, it's different. It's
More
hard
mild?
to, yeah, I mean, it's just like a little more laid back. Like everybody's
Okay.
now. Here's the thing:
The party.
No,
and all
there's
that.
there's no new releases, right? Like, I mean, there's like
Yeah,
there's like a handful of games that came out like between Essen and now,
right.
but I would say it's maybe under 100. So the scramble for the games is not as strong.
Yeah.
And all the games that came out in Essen, you have no real competition to play them. So
Yeah.
there's no hot games room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is one of the
Just-
first cons of the year too. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's May.
Yeah.
When is
It's gonna be
Origins?
May.
in June.
Origins usually June.
So
Yeah. I think.
I'm glad you did it instead of me.
What'd you say, Matt?
I didn't hear what he said.
Justin Timberlake. It's gonna be May.
Yeah, it's
I
a
hope-
chill. It's more chill.
Maybe next year I'll get
It's
to that.
it's
Scott.
it reminds people of the BGG Con of yore.
Yeah. I had a
And,
nice
like,
chill experience.
BGG Con was pretty chill back in the day.
So the first time we went, it was called BGG Family, right? And Aaron and I
Don't
went.
speak that name.
No, I'll say it. Okay.
That
Well,
was a
we
big
went.
mistake.
We went and
Branding wise,
we were demoing some stuff for a booth too. So. But the one issue we had, and I was curious if it changed since then, was that because it was called BGG something something, because it was more kid centered and stuff. It was almost like there were no signs looking for players because everybody came with their own family group
Interesting.
already. So we were walking
Yeah, that's
around
different.
all the time looking for someone to
Huh.
jump into a game with, and we couldn't get into.
I did
group.
not know that. Yeah, that's an interesting.
I didn't know if it's changed since then. Since
I mean, it was pretty small back then. It was like I think it was like 500 people the first year.
yeah, it was real small.
Yeah, it was real small for the hotel. Now it's about 1,000, 1,500, I think.
Okay.
Which is more BGG Con sized.
right.
More opportunity that way too. So
I don't know. I don't know if that has changed at all. I mean, I assume so.
As
No,
for his
that's
peons
a
to
good
figure
question.
out.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, we don't know. I mean, I
That's
actually hadn't heard that problem before until now. But it makes
I wouldn't-
sense.
I wouldn't say it's so much a problem because most
And-
people
and
were there.
it
Yeah,
was
we were
very-
there demoing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, BGG fan was a misbrand. People
Yeah.
thought they shouldn't come because they don't have a family. Like,
Oh yeah.
so that's a mistake,
Oh, right.
right? Like you're like, why would you not? Oh, it's just BGG Con with a different name.
I just looked at it as
And here's the thing: people gave us grief. They still give us grief for not allowing their kids to come BGG Con, right? It's 13 over and over, and I'm like, come to the spring.
Right.
We have an alternative convention. Do they come? No.
Yeah.
Do they continue to whine about BGG? Yes. they do.
yes,
Yeah.
till death.
We satisfied the market.
Don't matter. You didn't satisfy them.
Yeah, it's a different
To the
time.
bitter end.
Yeah. Here's my problem with what you're doing. Okay, we fixed it. Do you want it? Nope.
Not at all.
Yep.
No, hopefully next year I would like to go to BGG Spring just because it's like you said, it's a more laid back con. Something I'm gonna try and ease myself.
Yeah, it'd be
into.
better. I think it'd be
Really
better
good.
if you come next year.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, I'm not sure my health at what it's going to be like at the con. So I don't want to be like
Oh no, Scott, I wasn't there.
not sure if because if you come, I mean, I've got friends coming, but I'm like,
For
hopefully.
which one? Spring or the
Spring.
or the fall?
Spring.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't
I
mean it
mean-
like that, Scott. I mean, if you need help, I'm sure I can make it down there to help you. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not planning
I
on
think
going
we're-
down there to go down there. you know?
Okay. I just want to make sure because I want to give you my full
No,
Aldi
no.
at Aldi at 100%. Now I've
Yeah.
got friends coming in who hopefully I can live up to their expectations.
Okay.
They're good friends. I think they'll understand no matter what. Lincoln and Nikki are, we're all like friends, so they'll pick up the slack if I'm lagging.
Right. No, I didn't mean like that. I mean, if I came down,
Yeah, I
expect you to
wasn't
be
sure if I
hosting
was
or
going to be
anything. It's just-
full steam yet. I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a month away, so I gotta get my ass in gear.
Take care of your health first.
Yeah, no, but like I said,
No, I
hopefully
am.
next
I
year.
am, but I mean, part of me is also recovering from lying in a hospital for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that is rough on people.
It sucked.
People don't realize that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Why would I talk about it? Anyway. But I will hopefully be there and bells, all that stuff.
Well, if you ain't, you ain't. Yeah.
And we have
But it
some,
is-
hopefully some decent prizes from the people of Gray Fox Games.
He's not. Like,
It's harder and harder.
Speaking-
Here's the thing.
Have you heard of
It's harder and
Lifeline?
harder to get prizes and sponsors. And I'm like, what are people doing with all these games that they're not selling?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, well, we would pay shipping. We would do all kinds of stuff. Nobody, it's dry. It's dry as a bone.
Hmm.
Doesn't make sense.
Speaking of prizes, are you in November? Are you going to do the same way you did this time? Are you going to have the?
I think we're going to do that distribution, because otherwise it promotes. I don't want people lining up. That was the one thing, right? To get the good game.
I missed it.
I think it would be better to do the card. It's a card draw now.
No,
Um,
no. I'm in the prizes at the end.
I don't know. I kind of enjoyed not doing it.
I can see it's a lot of work, but I kind of missed it.
It's also 2,000, 3,000 people in a room, and also, we're still in COVID.
right.
Yeah.
3,000 people in a room is not great. The one thing about spring that's different is we flush about 1,000 games out of the library and put them up for sale.
That's cool.
I guarantee you will find a good game
Yeah.
for $10.
Yeah.
We sell everything for $10.
In spring.
Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. Yep. And I'm pretty sure we've sold every single game every year that we've done it. It's all for charity.
Right.
So
What
that's
the-
that's the thing about spring that the fall
What was
doesn't
that?
have.
Cafe Momento.
Cafe
Yeah.
Momentum is the donor, or the benefactor,
Right.
beneficiary, which is really cool charity that gives jobs to kids who go through the juvenile detention system,
Yeah.
Mm.
and it's a year scholarship, like it's 1 year. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
A
Yeah,
lot of
I like
them get jobs out of the thing too. They get hired at real restaurant. Like, I mean, Cafe Momentum's a real restaurant, but it doesn't last forever, right? It's only a 1 year thing. So you can go on a lot of, and you learn every state. They learn every station. They learn waiting. They learn cooking. They don't learn bartending, service, like like the hosting and
Yeah.
running a restaurant for real. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a real restaurant.
Oh, it's like
It's pretty
King
awesome.
Oliver's 15.
Kinda.
Yeah, I watched that live stream you had with the guy. I can't remember his name. Who runs it? It was,
Yeah, his name is
it was a while ago though. I
you
think-
put me on the spot. I can't remember his name now.
Sorry. It was a while ago. I think COVID was still like just opening
Well,
up.
they shut down for a while because they were doing like, I think they were doing like box lunches and stuff for like different people.
Yeah.
Chad. His name is Chad Hauser.
Chad.
I haven't talked to him in a while. I have to catch up with him.
Who,
Yeah.
Chad?
The vid does.
Chad? Hauser.
Who?
So it's cash only, and you can only buy 10 games at a time.
Eh.
So you have to, if you go through, you get 10 games. You have to go through again if you want to get another 10. If you want to get more. I mean, dude, it's all good stuff. It's all within the past like 5 or 6 years. Like it's all high quality games.
You only do that in spring.
We do some mystery bags too.
Ooh.
Like I walk through the room and I pick out any game that I'd be willing to play at that moment and put it in a bag, and then I sell the bag.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
interesting.
$100.
That's cool. Yeah, like I said, hopefully next year. Yeah.
Cool.
Even PAX, I thought about doing PAX. I think that'd be too much on me physically. PAX, Center City in Philly is a pain in the ass in general. It's. But yeah, hopefully next year.
We do pull out the gems. We pull out a few of we sell them for like sort of pretty close, not market value, but like under market, but like not $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like pull a copy of Titan out of there for like maybe $30, $40, something like that. There you go.
There you go.
It's definitely
Wonderful.
grown a lot, man.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, like somebody just said in the chat or whatever, like how many for not BGG family, how many vendors do you have signed up? Do you know?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Honestly, I feel like vendors now don't really want to. After fall, there was only like 3 or 4 vendors that came, right? Or it was maybe like, no, it was more than that. It was like 10, 20. We had 75 vendors in 2020, not 2019. 75.
Well, we're
And
still.
it went to 10.
Wow.
So now I'm like, maybe we don't care about vendors that much.
Maybe they don't care about you.
Maybe don't care about you, Scott.
It's okay. They can go to PAX and Gen Con, and you see 850 vendors at Gen Con? No, 500.
Wow.
500 and something vendors at Gen
30,
Con. Sold out.
530.
Wow.
Sold out. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty high.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel a little snubbed from none of the vendors from previous years, showing up and then going to Gen Con. But whatever.
But you should feel snubbed.
You should.
And you should wish.
Well,
death
no, it's
upon
probably
them.
it's probably a weird. It's probably I mean, I understand the problem.
Yeah.
You have limited resources and you can only go to so many cons. You're not going to pick the 3,000 person con. You're going to pick the 50,000 person con.
Yeah, we still are coming back from the vid.
Yeah. Well, the new variants are not great. Hopefully.
It's something we're going to live with. Yeah.
I saw that they recalled the mask mandate in the midair, and the people were throwing their masks in the trash. I'm like, really? You're throwing your mask in the trash?
Yeah.
I would have kept mine on, no problem.
Well, you're not most people.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so. I think we're done with masks for a while.
It is weird, man. I mean,
I was
it's
never
just-
confident in it.
I don't think they can ever get that mask mandate back. Maybe.
It's when the shutdown I was having problems getting dusk mask, and I asked Jen why, and she said because of the COVID, and I was like, but they're two different things.
People are just buying them anyway.
Dust mask prevent shit from coming in. And then they went to the cloth mask, and I'm like, all right, we're back to the dusk mask thing here. So the mask thing to me was like, yeah, whatever. I'll do it, but I don't think it's going to help one way or the other. Yeah.
Chad Roberts was on the plane during the mask mandate.
Was it?
Appeal, yeah. Did people take their masks off, Chad? Was there applause on the plane?
But I didn't think it was like when I went on the cruise. I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, we were still under the mask mandate there.
Yeah,
in enclosed areas. Yeah,
right. If you're out on the deck, no big deal, right?
Yeah, you're right. But as long as you were indoors. But I believe
What about in the dining rooms? No?
Until you got sat down.
Okay.
I thought that even in
come
Disney
on.
World, it was like that.
That's
I
so
thought
dumb.
that was weird, but
Yeah, that's pretty.
and if you got
Someone
up,
breathes when they sit down. We all know.
Yeah. But I believe all that's been lifted except for in like the terminals that
Yeah, the terminals where you board.
board and all that.
Yeah.
Since I've been there.
Well,
that
I'll be
was-
finding out in July because that's when our BGG cruise is. July. I think we've sold out, by the way.
That's good.
I think. Maybe five cabins left. Something like that.
And that'd be fun to do.
God, I can't wait to play games, man. I've been in drought. It's just
Yeah.
been so bad.
Yeah.
Are you an online gamer, Scott?
Like
you
BGA
kinda-
and stuff? No,
BGA
not
and
really.
that kind of stuff. All right.
I like-
was
I
gonna
like
say,
face to
I'll invite
face.
you to some games if you do it.
Yeah, I should friend you. I'm on there. I
Okay.
played Glow the other day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
I couldn't remember the rules.
I wasn't sure if I was playing it right, but it seemed to work out.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I'm doing this right. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's a little weird when
I
you're
was kind of just like indiscriminately picking cards. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna roll, so I'll grab this card. sure there's strategy to it. I just don't know the game well enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
Chad Roberts tested positive today.
Oh,
Did
That's from the flight, right, Chad?
he?
I got COVID on the way home from Gamma.
Did
Did
he?
you?
Yeah, everybody I hung out with at Gamma. Nope, no problem. Nobody else got COVID except for me and my buddy Tim on the plane flight back. We're like,
Oh, wow.
Tim was
You
on.
started,
he for
you
sure-
started feeling bad on the plane.
that?
You started feeling bad on the plane.
No, a couple days after.
Oh.
Oh, a couple days after.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But there was a dude like right behind me, like hacking and wheezing and coughing and doing all the things.
No mask.
Well, it was, one of these.
Oh.
Ah.
Like one of these.
Yeah. Well, it was even a little bit lower.
A little bit lower. Yeah.
It was a chin protector.
We're screwed.
Giselle flew tonight.
so
And she
screwed.
wore 2 masks.
Yeah.
What's up?
Giselle flew tonight and she wore 2 masks.
Yeah.
She had an N95 mask, but she's small, right? So the N95 mask we had was like there was gaps everywhere and it wasn't fitting.
Oh, then
So
you put
she
a-
just wore.
Like a gator over the top of it or something.
She didn't even wear the N95. She wore a cloth mask plus one of the surgical masks.
I mean, on the plus side, I've got extra immunity now. For
There you go.
That specific strain.
I would not. Don't
versus
bank on it,
versus
man,
strains.
because I've heard
Yeah,
people that are like 1 to 2 months later they caught it again.
yeah.
I mean, that's not great,
I know. Who knows?
but I mean, it sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, we're still doing. I mean, like nobody knows. We're still figuring it out day by day, and
Yeah.
like a lot of places, at least in Portland, most places no longer are doing masks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dallas
there's
is-
months.
There's nobody wearing masks in Dallas.
Hey, I'm watching Grimm right now, Evan. It's albeit it's in Portland.
Yeah, that was shot in Portland.
Grim.
Yeah. It was like a present.
It's really
day-
good, actually. It's one of my favorite series.
A present day descendant of the Grimm family who fought,
Oh,
werewolves and vampires and whatever.
cool.
It's really good, actually.
It's
It's
fun.
quite good.
It was enjoyable. My buddy was in that.
Oh,
Who's that?
His name is, now that you're quizzing me.
Yeah.
He's a chiropractor.
He's not a close buddy, apparently.
While you're thinking
I'll have
about
to
it,
think
the
of
BGG, the Golden Geek Awards, end tomorrow for nominations. So if you have not nominated a game yet, you can go nominate games, please.
I will not.
It's very lightly, very, very lightly participated on this year. Do people just not care? Are people just done?
I don't know if I know.
Golden
how to-
Geek. That's the first time I've heard.
It's on the front page.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just
So-
goes
Oh, I
straight to
never
what
go to
was
the. I
looking
never
for.
go to the front page. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Tom Walton.
I put on Twitter too.
Walton.
Tom Walton.
So the
One
nomination
scene.
phase will run until Thursday at midnight.
Okay, let me see. BGG. Don't.
So you have one more
immediately go
day
my
to go
page.
nominate games.
I just
Yeah, I
haven't
never
played
look at
enough
the front
games to
page.
do any of that. Yeah.
And 60
I feel like this
Golden
is a
Geek
weird
Awards.
year. This we're already. It's like 2021, man, was weird.
Nominations open by all.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. Oh, you put your nominations in this year, Scott?
Oh,
I have not. I'll do my nominations. I usually do.
2021.
He's in 2 episodes. I don't know him.
He's not like a big name.
I knew a guy who played in
Since I'm
Oz.
since I
a
work
very
in
small
publishing,
part.
I'm no longer allowed to vote in the Dice Tower Awards. I was pretty sad about that.
Oh, this guy.
What?
That's awesome.
You're no longer what?
Like the Dice Tower Awards, like
Yeah.
basically he let
They
like
kicked you out?
basically anybody who did reviews or anything that you got to vote, right? And it was like, I think you processed the whole thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing was, it was like because I'm a publisher, I no longer am allowed to.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I don't see how you doing that.
Did you slap somebody? Is that why you're not allowed to vote anymore?
That's why
Well, what
Will
the
Smith.
five fingers say to the face?
Whoa.
I feel there's way less reviewers than there used to be right now.
You think so?
Do you?
Or everybody's reviewing the same stuff.
Well, it's
Like,
most likely
where-
that.
Where are
It's
all the
most likely
games?
that.
Like I have not seen. People are
I
not.
started
don't
reviews.
think-
I
don't
did
think
2
people are-
reviews and then stopped
Mhm.
Yeah,
because I heard back from the designer. I was like, oh, so that was it.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I
Or
didn't.
they-
I didn't hear
it's-
directly from them. I heard them talking about my review on a
Yeah, it's a tough.
podcast.
It's a tough position if you're not like.
Yeah, and I was just. I didn't even mean like I gave it a good review, but he picked
Yeah.
out the one thing I was like,
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah,
this
you're-
part, and that's what bugged him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
really tough
Well, that's just
I feel better.
self-confidence on
to
his
be a
end.
game
man.
designer and a reviewer. Like I have strong opinions about games, but I'm never going to publish a review.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because
There
I'm a
was
game
there's
designer.
only there like my two the two so Eric oh god what's his last name?
Lang,
No, not Eric.
Martin.
Austin,
Martin,
No, give me a second. Let me think.
You're
Upton.
Oh, it's not Eric Clapton.
No money.
I was just thinking of that.
What's the context?
There's basically I've had
Hartman?
two situations when I did reviews where I had where the designer has reached out to me to like, you know, basically not so much take me to task, but
Ask it.
like you know,
Questions.
to basically like I didn't get the game. That's why my negativity about it is
Oh,
not
yeah.
warranted.
You
that
just
kind of
don't
thing.
understand.
I just didn't
Yeah.
understand.
You don't understand the deep psychological impact.
I didn't understand, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, just kind of like, and I, I did feel, but I did feel bad a little bit, that they felt the need to reach out. But one was very serious about it, and the other one kind of laughed about it. Oh man.
Yeah, what's the deal with designers confronting reviewers?
Evan, have you
It's
ever
'cause
done
you-
this?
Well, I mean, so
you get
like if
so
you
invested in your baby,
Yeah,
and you get
Someone
super
didn't like it.
upset. It's kind of like if somebody flames you online, you want to go up there and like post a response and be like, whatever. It's the same feeling, but it's just as useful, right? Like not engaging is the best is
Yeah.
the best
Well,
policy.
how
Let
do you-
people have their opinions.
my first game, I talked to Tom Vassell after he gave it a 5.5, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like it. That's all I said. But he then was like, I did like it. I gave it a 5.5. I was like, then I tried to tell him like, that's the worst thing you could have done. I would have rather you throw it in the trash. Then at least people would have looked at it. But if you just say
Yeah.
it's okay and do
5.5 is
5.5,
the kiss of death.
yeah, no one
Yeah.
will ever look at it.
No.
And I would have rather you lit it on fire. Please do that.
yes.
So yeah, I did have one, like, in my opinion, like a confrontable review, worthy of being like, come on.
Right,
But I never did confront them because it's like, what are you going to gain out of that?
exactly. You're gonna let the,
It'll
If
make
they're
you, it'll make you
basically-
feel better.
they're gonna basically go on Twitter and say, "Can you believe this designer confronted me about my review and tried to talk me out of it? What a jerk!"
Well, I was just curious.
Right?
Most
it's-
reviewers.
that's what's coming.
Yeah.
That's what
Most
you think all
reviewers are only going
designers
to play the
sound like,
game
huh?
2 or 3
Interesting.
times. So I'm just curious, like, is it
Well, 2 or
constructive
3
feedback or?
That's a really funny thing because everybody kind of that goes in waves. Everybody gets worried about how many times a reviewer plays a game, And for the most part, by the time you're doing game reviews, most folks have a pretty solid handle on like what a game is and isn't after one play. Generally, I mean, depends on the game, depends on the reviewer.
I mean, I feel like no game. I'm always so if you're only playing a game one time as a reviewer, and I know there are a lot of people reviewers out there who do it.
Yeah.
Tom is one of them.
Yeah.
How in the world can you possibly play it correctly?
Yeah, I'm the same.
There's
way, Scott.
almost
The first
no
game still
chance.
is the fuck up game. Yeah.
There's almost unless you're like
Unless you're me.
yeah, unless you're
Yeah.
perfect.
You
Like,
get it right.
I mean, we always miss something.
I mean,
Always.
that's totally true. So like, definitely you can get a feel for a game, but you might be wrong. But if you play it 3 times, are you gonna realize that you've been playing it wrong?
Maybe not.
Unless you play it, unless you're being
I always
taught by
like,
somebody.
I always, after I play a game, I always go look on the forums for like rules questions
Yeah.
to see if I missed something.
I do that too.
And 9 times out of 10, look,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing. We missed something.
Yeah.
We missed a rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always look at why they don't like a thing, and if that
It's
is
not-
because they missed a rule, then
Right.
that's something
Then
they should revisit. But if not, then
Right. Then it's like, well, you just don't like what I made. That's fine.
Now, do you find them constructive or just demoralizing?
Can be both.
Views?
I mean, in general.
you mean as a designer?
Hmm.
I mean, I don't
My
feel
first game didn't get great reviews. My second game did. So my first game, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work harder. So yeah,
Yeah.
Go to my
think,
room.
it's
I need to
more-
go look and see what people are reviewing. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
most reviews these days are like summaries of the rules.
It depends, but yeah. a lot
And
of
like
them are.
maybe
always
like
skip
a
that.
little bit about the game. Like
Yeah.
the final wrap ups are so basic.
I always
Yeah.
skip to the final
like-
thoughts.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like what?
I think
I'm biased, but I think Eric Martin is one of the best reviewers out there.
He is. He's a
I
good
mean, he'll do
reviewer.
20 plus minutes on a game in
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
wrap up. Now, he's sort of a reviewer, but yeah, he basically turned into a reviewer now.
Did you?
We classified him as a reviewer,
Oh, cool.
and he doesn't have any interaction with sponsors on BGG
Right.
just to avoid the
yeah.
Right. Conflict.
Bias
conflict of interest.
stuff. Yeah.
So you say.
But he doesn't, he's only reviewing like 1 game a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Um.
It's tough to play a game enough to really review it. Yeah.
Yeah. As
In a
far
week.
as, is a review useful to the designer? Typically, you have such a broad range of responses. It's kind of like playtesting. If you see the same thing over and over again, then you go, okay, there's probably something
Something's
to that.
messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
yeah.
see like this person thinks this is amazing and this
An
person
outlier.
thinks that same thing, then it's like, well,
Yeah.
it's just preference.
Sure.
So I kind of take it in aggregate usually.
Right. Oh, no, what that?
I don't believe any of it.
Don't believe
They're
a
all
word of
they're all a
it.
bunch of liars.
Liars.
Every single one.
Sons of bitches. I never felt comfortable with I did my channel that final thought thing. I never really felt comfortable with it. Like
That's the hardest part. Like that's the most important part of a review, that
I think
final
so.
thoughts. But
When I did my review, I tried to do it very analytically. I used like a 5-star system
remember
at
that,
5 different
yeah,
things.
I think
Because
Zero-
I thought it would save me from people saying, "Oh, that's just your opinion" or something. But it really
Mhm.
wasn't. It could still be picked apart.
that's all a review is, an opinion, basically.
But ultimately, even if I disagree with some reviewers, I am super stoked that anybody took the time to play my game once
right.
or more and put out content about it, right? Like that is hours and hours and hours of work for them. So like, regardless of what they thought or what they said about it, I'm super stoked they took the time to look at it.
Cool.
Like it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, I
Reviewers-
still like
reviewers don't
doing
get
the
paid very well.
still like doing the search. I wonder if somebody did anything about my game this month, kind of thing on YouTube.
Yeah. Just check in.
Which I'm
every
doing
day.
right now.
I log into BGG every
Hey, there
day
is a new thing. I haven't seen it.
directly to the
Which
game.
game are we
page.
talking about, Christian?
Asking for troubles.
Troubles.
I was surprised. I'm not
Is it still
going
in
to
print?
Yeah, it just released its Kickstarter for
Yeah.
the
Oh.
expansions. So
Okay.
I was surprised. I
Third printing.
uploaded a video to my YouTube channel last week, which is the first time in a while I've been on it. But I still have like close to 800 or 850 subscribers. And it's been inactive for like 5 or 6 years, 7.
And they were all like,
Right.
What?
Yeah.
There's a new video.
No, it's not public. It's,
Oh, okay.
Board Game Gumbo guy did a unboxing.
yeah, BJ's a nice guy. I like him.
I like BJ.
I've been on his show a couple times, although not in a long time.
He hates you now. 360. No, BJ's great.
Yeah, we just finished the third print. It'll probably be the last one. That's a lot of prints, but
Is Breaking Game still publishing it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
you work for them, so it's easy.
Yeah, all right.
Easy to keep that going. It got the inside scoop.
Yeah. Have you guys thought about doing another print run?
Actually, I'm doing
I still have yet to play that, Christian.
And you
Maybe
know,
next time we're at a
well, you
con
should.
event. I know.
Yeah, Joel
I've
Eddie's another
actually,
good reviewer.
I've actually only heard good things about it.
He's reviewing fewer and far between though now.
Who's that?
Go Eddie.
Joel Eddie, goddamn
Yeah.
Joel Eddie.
yeah, Joel's a good reviewer.
Goddamn Jolie.
He did a
Joel
really
Eddie.
great in-depth review.
I
Team
liked
Food.
what was his name? He used to only show his hands for a long time.
It starts with a C.
Reviewer?
It'll come back to me. He does a solo gameplay and then he reviews.
Yes.
But his final ending, oh god, what is his
Capitulo.
name?
Prado?
No, it's long.
Yeah,
long
I don't know. He's
format.
that guy. He's got a couple of
For-
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, Rod.
Know who this is?
Give me a minute, Scott. It'll come to me.
I know who this is.
I'm on the verge of being really stoned and not stoned.
Ricky
Yeah.
Royal?
No, yeah, he's a good one too. But no, it's not him.
Ferdinand Andrew Capitulo.
Oh man, it's midnight. I'm turning the pumpkin. Good night, guys.
brother.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I gotta hit it.
Okay, good night.
Oh,
The
jeez,
cardboard
if everybody
stack.
leave, we might as well just
I
call
just-
it.
I can't
Man,
say
I
it.
just crashed it. All right.
It's gonna be another early boom. I don't know.
It's gonna pull the pin and run.
Off the shelf.
Ricky Royal. Somebody said, was it Ricky Royal?
Yeah, he's a good reviewer, but not, it's off the shelf, I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
And Joel Eddie, in my opinion, is Joel Eddie's my favorite reviewer.
It's like Game Boy Geek. No.
It's
No.
Joel Eddie Drive Through.
Drive through review.
Drive-thru review.
And that guy, and most
Yeah,
likely
his
because
reviews.
his opinion of games matches mine more often than not.
Yeah.
And he's just he's a good guy.
He just does such a really good job telling you, like, really describing like the thought process and what, like breaking down the mechanics and the
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll say this, and I'm not saying anything about any reviewer out there. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. There's a ton of times when I've watched reviews, and I try not to watch them because it just starts bugging me when I watch them. Because I start critiquing it and like thinking they should be doing this, that, and the other thing, and then it just bothers me, and I don't listen to what they're saying anymore. But Joel Eddie is the only reviewer who I actually feel like, wow, you sat down and you played this game like 6-7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't, and there might be reviewers out there I've never watched a single minute what they've done, but there are lots of reviewers out there that I'm like, yeah, you played this game once, which doesn't mean your opinion is wrong. It doesn't mean anything. But with Joel, it just I've always thought it was like Joel played the game, played it again, and then sat down and thought about what he thought about the game for a really, really long time.
Yeah, he's definitely thoughtful.
He's got great insights too. Yeah.
So you don't end up in that like standard. It's like, well, I really liked this and it had a lot of replayability, and I really like the random setup because that means it's a different time, a different game every time I play. And if I'm looking for that like kind of perfect little medium filler for like just when I'm not want to be too intense in the game night, but I don't want to play a bunch of easy card games too. This one's gonna fit the bill, so I think you should check that one out. It's just like you've told me nothing. You've told me nothing with what you just you talked for a minute, and that told me absolutely nothing about the game whatsoever. Because you played it once and you don't have any insight as to like how the game works at all. So, but Joel, not a one, not a single time.
Yeah, I'm impressed with his reviews, man.
So you can take that, your Eric Martin love, and shove it, Scott.
Oh, poor Eric.
I like Eric a lot. So
Is it right?
And some of my favorite emails I ever gotten were from Eric. So when he would correct all my grammar in it, and then he'd respond to it, pedantally yours, Eric Martin.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'd be just like, screw you, Eric. But no, yeah, we should probably go to bed. I gotta get up and do more work tomorrow.
That's fair.
No rest for the wicked.
That's fair.
Not when there's an ongoing Kickstarter Game Fund campaign. Last light. Back it again. Keep backing it. Yeah, I don't know. I had every goal. I was gonna make another initials tonight. I was gonna do it, and then Shane called me up because we had to figure out what was going on with the fulfillment thing, and I ended up on a phone call with him for like, no, it was like a 10-minute phone call. And then I got off the phone, and then 5 minutes later he called me back, and then it was a 20-minute phone call, and then I got off the phone after I thought we fixed it, and then 50 minutes later he called me up, and then I was just like, wow, you must really love me. And he's like, if I'm calling you this many times, you're gonna hate me at the end of this conversation. And I thought he was gonna yell at me about something, but no, we couldn't figure out distribution of how many where these games are going and stuff like that. So we ended up on a phone call for like 90 minutes, and I was just like,
It's a long
man,
phone call.
oh, it was forever. And then I was arguing with him because I was like, that's not true. Look at this right here. And then he was like, no, you're an idiot. Look at this. And I was like, no, I'm not the idiot. You're the idiot. Look at this. And but I think we may have actually solved it. But
Nice.
which means and by solving it means I've got about 6 hours of hammering away at a spreadsheet tomorrow. So yeah. Well, the joys of working in the board game industry, ladies and gentlemen.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. But there you go. Enjoy the
Good seeing everybody.
Yeah, good seeing everybody. Get some rest. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next week.